Hello, everybody, and welcome to Downsized Live. We've got a big night ahead, and we're so glad you're here. We're starting tonight with a major news update that impacts all of us, whether you're on a GLP-1 now or thinking about starting one.
Then we'll jump into your questions, celebrate your wins, keep building this amazing community of people who are treating the disease of obesity together.
And if you don't already know, my name is Christopher Durham.
I'm Lorraine Durham.
And together we've lost over 150 pounds using GLP-1, Zepbound, Mounjaro, tirzepatide. And we created the Downsized to talk honestly about it, what it means to treat the disease of obesity in the real world.
We talk about the science, the stigma, the systems that block access, and how we're fighting through it. And every Wednesday night, we'll do it with all of you live.
Tonight,
live from North Carolina, it's the Downsized.
It's a little special because we're going to do some news to begin with, but we'll hop back into it. We started this adventure back in September of 2023. I've now lost 104 pounds. Before GLP-1s, I felt stuck. I couldn't make progress. My blood pressure was high. I was exhausted. These medications gave me back my health and my life.
And for me, this has been a lifetime battle. I've struggled with weight since childhood, tried every diet out there, and nothing ever lasted long term. But today I'm at my goal. I've lost 52 pounds. I feel strong, healthy, and finally free of the diet yo-yoing cycle that I thought I'd never escape.
That's a yo-yo too. 22 years of our lives.
Yo.
No doubt.
Yo.
As I said, together, we've lost more than 150 pounds, but what matters most is what we've gained: energy, confidence, health, and the ability to show up for our lives in a way we never imagined.
So now we're sharing it all here, every step, every struggle, and every success. So no one out there feels like they have to do this alone. Let's get into the news.
Baby news.
Tonight, we're starting with a court decision that officially closes the door on 503B compounded semaglutide.
Not surprising, but it is important. A federal judge just sided with the FDA. If you've been using compounded semaglutide, this is the moment we've been warning about. The FDA won, the compounders lost, and your access may be next. So it's more complicated than that, so we're going to go into the details of it.
The full opinion is now public. It confirms what we saw earlier this year with tirzepatide. The courts are backing the FDA's decision.
So on June 13th, Judge Mark Pittman of the U.S. District Court of the Northern District of Texas ruled in favor of the FDA and Novo Nordisk. Same exact ruling that happened with the tirzepatide case in the FDA and Eli Lilly.
The case came from the Outsourcing Facilities Association, or the OFA, who challenged the FDA's decision to remove Ozempic and Wegovy from the official drug shortage list back in February.
They argued that the delisting was a rule change and that the FDA needed to go through public notice and comment.
But Judge Pittman wrote, the delisting action is not a rule and was thus properly promulgated through adjudication.
Adjudication. Those are good legal words, aren't they?
I am not an attorney.
That means the FDA, or the judge said the FDA, followed the law. They made a case-by-case decision using current data from Novo Nordisk, and they didn't need public input to do it.
Right. The OFA tried to argue that compounders were serving 20% of the GLP-1 market and that the FDA didn't consider that.
But that number wasn't Novo Nordisk's number. It came from a CNN article quoting a financial analyst, and it included off-label use in both tirzepatide and semaglutide.
So Judge Pittman said, and I quote, "The 20% estimate is not an appropriate estimate to project demand for Novo Nordisk's approved semaglutide injection products," end quote.
And in a devastating footnote, he added, plaintiffs' consistent and pervasive pattern of similar mistakes, plaintiffs meaning the OFA, so the Compounding Pharmacy Association, plaintiffs' consistent and pervasive pattern of similar mistakes has made it increasingly difficult for the court to assume they are the product of accident. Basically, he's calling them out, saying, you're not doing this right.
The OFA also submitted screenshots from pharmacy websites like Hims and Hers, surveys, and a letter claiming 50% of the market was being filled by compounders.
It's crazy. The court dismissed all of it on the screen. And what we saw in the screenshots is, he said it is not unreasonable for the FDA to consider detailed and comprehensive evidence to be more persuasive than website screenshots, some of which were undated.
On the hims and hers surveys, unverified, vague, and involved multiple drugs. Basically, it just wasn't valid. It didn't stand up in court.
And the market estimate was unsupported, unverified, and not credible. The court sided with the FDA's structured reporting and Novo's internal data.
What this means for you. If you're using semaglutide from a 503B outsourcing pharmacy, that option is no longer protected by the shortage exemption because this drug is no longer in shortage.
Correct. So, however, if you're using a 503A pharmacy, they create individualized prescriptions and are still operating, but this ruling confirms the FDA has a solid legal playbook. Now, the 503A pharmacies are being sued as well right now. Eli Lilly has lawsuits out and Novo Nordisk has lawsuits out. Basically, this will all go to court, and the court will have to decide what personalized, individualized prescriptions means, whether the patents are being broken. And there's a lot. When we had Lee on a couple of weeks ago,
yes,
we talked about it.
So if the drug is in shortage, compounders can make copies.
Correct.
If the drug is not in shortage,
503Bs can make copies.
503As or Bs.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. So if the drug is not in shortage, then they have to make it personalized in order to maybe be able to sell it.
503Bs can't make it at all.
503Bs can't make it because they just make masks for hospitals. 503A can make the personalized.
Right. So make it
doses.
for Lorraine.
Right. So this ruling suggests that the FDA is likely to rule in the same way on the tirzepatide appeal.
So let's be honest, this ruling does not fix the system, it reinforces it.
Most insurance companies don't cover GLP-1s for people treating obesity. And when compounded options are blocked, patients are left with nothing.
Now, right as this court ruling dropped and as the FDA's enforcement deadline hit, Novo Nordisk announced a one-time offer. Wegovy for $199 for the very first month. That price is available through June 30th, but only for patients who had previously used compounded versions or who had not had a prescription for Wegovy.
Novo's executive Dave Moore said, "We want to be there and meet patients as they transition from a compounded version to the real Wegovy."
But let's be even more honest, this isn't a fix, it's a tactic. After June 30th, the price goes right back up to $499. If you can sell semaglutide for $199 for a month, you can sell it for $199 every month.
Right. It's a little bait and switch there. We'll sell it to you for $199 the first month, but after that, it goes to $499. That price could change lives at $199. It could eliminate the need for compounding and finally make obesity care accessible to more people.
We appreciate the work and innovation that both Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly have done. These medications have changed our lives and many of yours, and they absolutely deserve to profit from their work. This is America. They are a for-profit corporation.
There's a difference between profit and profiteering. There's a difference between making billions by helping people and making billions by blocking access.
Novo, you have a choice. You can be the evil big pharma that so many believe you are. Many of you have heard me say this time and time again, or you can be the hero. Be the hero, lower the price. You can and will eliminate the millions you're spending on legal fees. You can grow your business profitably. You can move past Eli Lilly again. You can build loyalty with patients who are desperate to fight this deadly disease.
Lowering the price wouldn't shrink your market, it would grow it. It would expand your margins, your reach, and your impact.
You have the product, you have the power, you have the moment. Now make the choice to lead. Well, that's the latest. And like we always say here on the Downsized, we're not just here to report the news, we're here to help each other through it.
And whether you're on brand name medication, compounded options, or just starting this journey, we're here for you.
So
where else would we be?
As we always do, we'll chat. We'll take some questions. So I see the chat is going like crazy, so we'll hop into that in a minute. But of course, make sure you let us know your wins, your non-scale victories, your scale victories, all of the above, because we want to talk to you.
All right. So that's our little blip about
a little bit of news.
So Wegovy and Ozempic are officially out of shortage is basically what that boils down to.
That is correct.
So it might get a little bit harder for compounders to continue compounding. Is compounding stopped as of today? No, it is not. It's still going, but it's just makes it a little bit harder for the compounders to continue.
Well, the 503Bs will stop. So
The
the large ones
503Bs
will
will
stop.
stop.
There's no legal path forward
I
for them.
mean, 503As will still sell their personalized.
And the 503, yeah, I mean, you know,
as long as they can,
it's
right?
the Empowers and those guys of the world, and you know, there's a whole list of them. You guys all know.
So, I mean, what's interesting to me about all this is that Novo says, "Oh, if you're on compounding, come on over to the real Wegovy, and we'll give it to you for $199." Oh, but after that, it goes up to $499. Sorry. Like what? Like, why not just make it $199 forever? Like, you could just wipe out compounding in one fell swoop.
I mean, I have to believe if you're the new CEO coming in, and we don't know who that will be, but they got rid of the last guy because he, you know, all of this stuff happened, and they lost the race to Eli Lilly. That guy's going to come in and go, I have got to gain market share. I've got to make Wall Street happy.
Got to sell some more stuff.
Sell some more stuff.
Got to sell more stuff. Got to make more billions of dollars.
And oh, by the way, that research from Lilly that says the tirzepatide's 40% of it.
Yeah. Well, Zepbound is, you know, just gets better results in the clinical trials than Wegovy and Ozempic. So Novo Nordisk is like, we're losing the GLP-1 race to Eli Lilly. What are we going to do?
So
we've reported.
They've both got all kinds of new drugs coming out. So it's, you know, how do you maintain your market share, make your margin, keep your customers happy, keep Wall Street happy? It's be a big job. Would you like to be CEO of Novo Nordisk?
No, I would not.
We're not from
Could I get my medicine covered under insurance?
Their insurance probably.
I'd have to switch to Wegovy, and everybody knows I'm not going to do that. So anyway. But if you're on Wegovy, it's a perfectly good GLP-1. And if it's working for you, by all means, please continue.
So let's see who's first today. Mel B. Hello, Mel B. Thanks for being a member. She says, good evening.
That countdown, 4 days until the Downsized at Sea cruise. Woo, woo, woo.
So tell us about the Downsized at Sea cruise while we're here.
I'm wearing my hair curly today, and it's making me a little crazy. So the Downsized at Sea cruise departs Monday, June 23rd from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. We've got 50 of our closest friends, downsizers, joining us for the Downsized cruise. We'll go to Bimini and Nassau in the Bahamas. One of our downsized couples is even going to renew their vows, their wedding vows during the cruise. So that should be fun. And for everybody who's not going on the cruise, make sure you like and subscribe, because we're going to announce the 2026 Bigger, Better Downsized cruise
live, because we'll do this live next Wednesday from the cruise ship.
The cruise.
Yeah,
why
so
not?
We'll actually have a live.
See if the internet works from there.
No,
it should.
we broadcast from that ship last time we were on.
Yeah. Well,
so we'll have a live studio audience.
Live studio audience. Look at this studio filled with fabulous prizes.
Maybe we can get Wink Martindale.
Who needs Wink Martindale?
Oh, we've got you. Wayne Whitmer. Hello, sir. He says, have a good time at the MLB. Everyone who is going, is that a cookie or that's a fish? I thought a cookie monster.
I don't know. Thanks, Wayne.
Not Kirsten's memory. Also a member. Thank you. And Wayne was. I'm counting the days to MLB. See you soon.
Yep.
Doris Goody. Good evening, all. Mark Clem. Can't wait for the cruise.
Yay.
Crump133. Thanks for being a member. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday, Tina. Michelle Frank. Hi, all. Halfway through the week. Yep. Oh, it is Wednesday. Tomorrow's a holiday. Hey. Tomorrow's Juneteenth, and it's a national holiday, and my gym is closed. So I'm taking a rest day tomorrow. Rudy J. OTP says safe travels to everyone going on the Downsized cruise. Hope you all get your sea legs going. Yeah, I don't usually have a problem with, seasickness. Knock on wood. Gwen says, happy shot day. It's Wednesday. Who takes their shot on Wednesday?
Gwen does.
I mean, who else? That's what I meant. Who else takes their shot on Wednesday? Mindy M says, I need to start packing. Yes, you do, Mindy.
I'm already packed.
I'm packed, and then I keep adding to my suitcase, and it's a problem. Val F.
Only 4 nights, so what do you need?
Val F says, hey, everyone. Hey, Val. Val's going on the cruise. Shonda C says, hello. Hello, Shonda. I can't wait to meet everyone on the cruise. Yes, Val. Losing It with Grace says, happy Wednesday. Michelle Brooks says, my first live. Hello, everyone. Hello, Michelle Brooks. Mindy M says, yes, Val. Mindy M, also a cruiser. Kat C says, celebration.
No, I'm not sure what that is. But we'll
like
celebrate.
Like the carnival celebration?
Or maybe it's just a celebration. We celebrated yesterday with our 20,000 subscribers, so maybe it's that.
Yeah, we hit 20,000 subscribers. So if you were part of that, thank you. If you have not subscribed yet, hop on in there because...
What are you waiting for?
Yeah, because we do cool stuff, and I'm sure you'll want to keep up.
So feel free to pop a question in there if you have it. Make sure you put
Tammy
a couple
Griffin.
of cues in front of it so I make sure to see it.
Rita says, hey, everybody, happy Wednesday. Hey, Rita.
And I think there's a lot of comments in here. So.
Dana Cimaroli. Hello, Dana. Cinnamon roll is what I would want to say. Anthony, hello, everyone. Hello, Anthony. Donnell, it's Donnell. He's going on the cruise. Hello, Donnell. Mariella. Hey, Mariella. Hi, wishing everyone a safe and fun trip. Thanks, Mariella. Jess says, hi, everyone. Hi, Jess. GLP Journey in Review. Happy Wednesday, Durham's. Lori, I just sent you an email, so let me know your schedule. Sandy Murphy says, good evening, everyone. Hope you all have a great time on your cruise.
Thank you for being a member, Sandy.
Deb says, I need Lorraine's energy, LOL.
Me too.
It's hot in our house. Our poor air conditioning is like not really keeping up too good with this hot weather. I don't know why that makes me have more energy, but apparently it does. Kate says, hiya. Hiya, Kate. Hand waving. Waving hand. Waving hand.
Let's see. Linda Bookmiller says, hello,
hey, Linda
everyone.
Bookmiller.
Teresa Hawk, hi from California. Do you think it's a coincidence that Lilly released the higher dose files as Canada is releasing generic semaglutide and the Texas court ruled against compounders? Well, there's a bunch sticking in there. I don't think any of those things have anything to do with each other, first of all. I recorded a video and I just finished editing the one on Canada, and it's a patent case in Canada. This generic semaglutide will not release until 2026. So that's not happening right now. But there's a 20-minute video. There's a 20-minute video that I filmed, and I think I saw David just put out something in his Substack about it. Does it have anything to do with the Texas court rule?
I think both Lilly and Novo Nordisk are battling to be number one in the GLP-1 space. They want to sell the most stuff. They want to sell the most GLP-1. So Lilly's releasing the higher dose vials. Novo did the $199 introductory month of Wegovy. There's a lot of battles happening, and these little court battles, they're not little, but they don't really shut anything down or keep anything going, right? They just it's the compounding manufacturers association trying to help their members by these lawsuits, and I can
tell you, as someone who managed brands and products for a Fortune 5 company, we had 1, 5, and 10-year plans for rolling things out. Probably they knew the plan for this a year ago.
Yeah,
so
I mean, they had
my
the
guess
lower
would be
doses,
it's coincidence.
so
I wouldn't think the CEO went, oh my goodness, let's release them right now. But I could be wrong. Who knows? They could be panicking and doing it. And in Indianapolis or wherever they are. Let's see here.
Wendy says, first 10 milligram shot last night, and the fatigue has been real today. Yeah, so sometimes when you bump up that dose, like you get maybe a side effect like fatigue or constipation. You know what? Just take it easy. Drink some water. Make sure your protein is getting in there. Maybe add some electrolytes to your water. That helps me with the fatigue. And take a nap. Ultimately, you just have to rest, right?
Let's see. We have a new member, Brochet. You've been around for a while. Thanks for becoming a member of the Club Downsized. That's our YouTube membership. If you'd like to get some of the special benefits, we have a little video on it that talks about it. But we do a live just for members. And if you watch the end of this video in 2 hours or so, there'll be a rolling everybody in Club Downsized. It's a lot of fun. And
you stay till the end.
Custom emojis and all kinds of stuff.
You'll see all the names.
We also have a super chat from GLP-1 Journey.
Oh, thanks,
Review.
Lori.
Thank you, Lori.
Have fun cruising. The weather should be great. You two are the best. P.S. I got your email, Lorraine. Okay, cool. Robot dance. Thanks, Lori.
Thank you.
What else is happening? Lori did a video. You guys should go subscribe to Lori's channel. It's GLP-1 Journey and Review. I just popped over there today. She was talking about she's on compounded tirzepatide, and she was thinking about splitting her doses into two. So, and I've talked to several people who have done this on compounded. So maybe they take half their dose on Sunday and half their dose on Wednesday, keeps a more even level of medication in your system. And if you're trying to, if you find that you get hungrier toward the end of the week, or you hear food noise coming back toward the end of the week, a lot of people do that, split it into 2 shots, trying to even some of that out. So go check out Lori's channel.
Is that something you would ever do?
No, because I don't want to take 2 shots. I barely want to take 1 shot, and I've taken over 85 shots, right? You'd think, oh, no big deal, bing, bang, boom. I don't enjoy it, but I enjoy my 50-pound plus weight loss. So you better believe I'm going to be taking my weekly shot. Would I like to stretch out my shot to go more than a week? That would be great. I don't think I can do that at this point. I'm just not quite there yet, but perhaps people have done that. Diane Creamer says, made my first live. All right, Diane, welcome. Martha Eckhoff, hello. Thank you for your wonderful channel. Well, thank you for being here, Martha. Cat C, oh, I was hoping that wasn't the news.
It wasn't a surprise. I mean, it's the same judge, the same remarkably similar case. It was bound to happen. Basically, with compounding, the 503As still have a path, and now it's going to be up to the courts and the FDA to decide what all these regulations mean, and if they can continue to do it. Right now,
and what
it's
is
still
a
working.
Personalized dose? And if you mix tirzepatide with niacinamide, is that personalized? Well, when you do it times 10,000 patients, is it still personalized?
Yeah, I mean, none of those regulations were
different.
Written.
It's different than the brand name, but is it personalized? I don't know.
Does it meet the regulatory standard? All those you can go read them. They're on the FDA site. They're pretty vague. When we talked to Lee, a couple of weeks ago, Lee Fits In, he's an attorney. His statement was those cases will drag on for years. No, that's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah. So I got my reorder for my compounding pharmacy in right now. It's pending, so get it reorder it while you can. Oh, you meant you were on. Sorry, I thought you filmed live.
No,
we're actually here right now.
Yeah, we are here right now.
It was confusing because we read a news story at the beginning, and we don't usually do that during a live. But Christopher thought since that story just broke, we should talk about it. What you doing, Chris? We have our microphone.
The microphone's doing weird things.
Oh.
Always playing with it, Wayne.
Hello. Should I speak into this device? No, our microphone is up there. You fixed it?
Oh, I don't know. Let me know, Wayne. In the kitchen with Karen. So I'm tired on 10 milligrams.
10 milligram. Yeah. 10 milligram was it was a pretty good dose for me. I did not bring my handy dandy spreadsheet with all my dosing. It's keep notes, right? Y'all, like keep notes on what your dose is, what your side effects are, maybe what was going on in your life that week. And it just helps to maybe look back and see a pattern or see what, worked for you.
Let's see, a bunch of people saying they can't hear me as well. Hello, Pam Mason. Thank you, Barb.
You could pull the mic down. Maybe is the mic on?
Well, it's the same mic, babe. Hold on.
Well, is it on?
Well, they couldn't hear you. If they couldn't hear you, they wouldn't hear me. Same mic.
It don't make no sense.
It's only one mic. So if they can hear you, they can hear me.
All right.
Oh, hello, Pamela Mason. Thank you for being a member. M. Palmer.
My favorite couple on YouTube. Oh, thank you. So, I wanted to tell you guys that we are going to be in a contest called America's Favorite Couple. I just ran across this on the interwebs, and I said, I should sign us up. So they said, okay, enter all this information. So I entered all this information, and they said, we'll let you know if you're selected to compete. And I'm like, they're going to pick us. Well, then they picked us. So
They did? What?
Yeah, we're going to be in this. I don't know. It's got Jeff Goldblum. I was telling my daughters about this contest, and they're like, well, who's running it? I said, I don't know. It's got Jeff Goldblum on it. And they're like, you mean that guy from Wicked? I'm like, you ever heard of a movie called like The Fly or like
that's a lot older than they are, babe.
And then my other daughter goes, yeah, he was on Glee. I'm like, he was on Glee? He was one of Leah Michelle's dads.
Who knew?
Kids today. Chad Morgan says, well, in January 2026. So anyway, I'll let you know when to go vote for us for this. Not yet. Well, in January 2026, sounds like semaglutide will be way cheaper, at least in Canada, for sure, than $4.99 a month, since Novo dropped the ball on their patent renewal fee.
Yeah, I've got a whole video on that that'll come out.
I don't know how they missed that.
I don't know.
Somebody definitely got.
It was $450.
Somebody missed it. Somebody thought somebody else paid it, and I'm sure they said, "Oh, I thought Jim paid that." No, I thought Liz paid that. No, I thought nobody paid it. So they're going to lose their patent in Canada. Bradley says, "Really pleased to hear the 12.5 and 15 milligram vials of Zepbound will be available for cheap." Well, if you call $4.99 cheap, Bradley, then indeed they will be available for cheaper. So the list price on these is over $1,000. There's a coupon. You can go on Eli Lilly's site. If you have commercial insurance and you're not on Medicare, you can use this coupon and get it for $650. So now the vials are $4.99. So definitely steps in the right direction. We just want to see those prices just keep coming down. So it's definitely steps in the right direction. I'm not using them yet. I'm still on the 5 milligram for a while, but my wife wants to titrate up to 12.5, and now it's affordable. Well, that's good. It's, when you're buying that times 2 or more, it ratchets up quickly, doesn't it? Pink Pineapple says that's like a bait and switch tactic. I know, right? Like, so it's not nice. It's not nice, Novo. By the way, my wife thinks I might be a hyper responder, as I'm down 19.4 pounds in 5 weeks. On the 5, you're on the. He said he's on the 5, Bradley. So. You could be. I mean, I've seen super responders lose 50 pounds on 2.5. So everybody reacts to this medication differently, right? Some people do well on the lower doses. Some people don't lose until they get maybe till 10 or 12.5. So you got to figure out what works for you. Diane says, hi, folks. Hi, Diane. Is that a little creature in the back there? Is that a little animal? Can't tell if it's a kitty or a doggy. Joni says, so happy I found you guys. You've been a big help in starting my journey just last Friday. Well, welcome, Joni. We're glad to have you here. We hope you will subscribe to the Downsized. Were you one of our 20,000? If you were, thank you. You can be part of our 30,000. So we put up videos every day because Christopher Durham is a crazy person, and but it's great. I do a lot of downsized dish interviews with people who are on GLP-1 journeys, so you might want to check that out if you're just starting. I've got 50,
I don't know,
100?
a lot.
Still count. We have over 500 videos of total.
560 as of right now.
560 videos. So yeah, check them out. You can search them by, things you might be interested in. So
right now there's 374 people, 381 on there right now, and 116 likes. If you haven't already, tap that like button. If you haven't subscribed, please hit that as well. We appreciate it. Barb from Health at Any Cost says, I have 3 bags packed plus a crossbody bag. I think I need to downsize. That's 1 bag per day, Barb. There's
How
only
are you
a 4-night
getting those
cruise.
On the plane?
She doesn't have to fly.
Oh, right. Her daughter's flying to Florida, and then they're driving to Fort Lauderdale. Got it.
Donna Johnson says, hello from Omaha,
Hello,
Nebraska.
Donna. One of our daughter's friends has a grandma in Omaha, and they're going there, was it next week? Amy Miles says, hello, I am new here and new to GLP-1. Started April 2025 and have had great success. My question for you is, how do you not look at how far you still have to go? Yeah, I mean, okay, so you're down 16 pounds and you're still...
Started in April, so
yeah.
Still a baby.
Okay, so here's the good news. This medication is working for you, right? You're down 16 pounds in April, May, like 2.5 months. So it's going to be 1 to 2 pounds a week weight loss. I think that's about where you're at right now. That's 52 to 100 pounds in a year. And it might take, depending on how much you have to lose, it might take 6 months or a year or more. And you know what? That time is going to pass anyway. And now you're going to pass that time losing weight, hopefully every week on average, right? So I talked to a lady today who made herself a chart. Like, she said, okay, if I lose 2 pounds a week, what weight should I be at every week until I hit my goal weight? And when would that be? I mean, that might be helpful to look at. I did it. I mean, when I was in my weight loss phase, I would calculate every week. I would calculate my average weight loss per week and then extrapolate out. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm losing 1.5 pounds a week and I have 20 more pounds to go, then how many more weeks will I get there? Now, if you have a lot of weight to lose, you're in this, we're all in this now for life, basically, right? There's no on and off. It's a lifestyle, and I know you want to get there as fast as you can because everybody does, right? But make sure you maximize each dose. Make sure you lose as much weight as you can on every dose before you move up. And you're really just getting started and you're doing great. So, look at non-scale victories also, like how your clothes fit. Can you cross your legs now? Can you go upstairs easier? You have to look at everything, not just the number on the scale.
Yeah, I mean, it can sound kind of trite, but at some point you'll wake up, and I did it because I lost 104 pounds, I guess. Yeah. I don't know, probably 50 pounds down for me, and just kind of went, I feel so much better that every day at this weight is so much better that it's okay. And you just kind of settle into the medication works and you begin to trust it, because I don't know about you, but the first
it was
3-4
hard to
months,
like really believe it for a while. For about 6 months, like, we were like, is this going to stop? Is this going to go away? Like, this is almost too good to be true, right?
Take it one day at a time. Do the best you can. Build good eating habits, and you're doing a great job so far. So, Wayne Whitmer has a super chat.
Hey, Wayne, building my membership cred, 5 months on GLP and 4 months with the Downsized super couple. Thanks, Wayne. We appreciate you. Thanks for being a member. Yeah, you guys can join Club Downsized if you would like to. That's just another way to support us in our quest to become full-time YouTubers. So our content is free, but if you'd like to join our club, it's a monthly subscription where you get a special live on Tuesday nights just for members. I have a special Facebook page, and you have special emojis and other things. You can check that out.
Aussie Craig, he said, hi guys. All the way from Australia.
G'day, mate.
He's a member of Club Downsized. Thank you, Aussie
Sorry,
Craig.
I couldn't resist.
Diane, say her last name, Craig.
Wazolic. I don't know.
That's a good guess.
I don't know. Hello, Christopher and Lorraine. Hello. So, my maiden name was Orphanides. So I am, the queen of everyone says my name wrong. So.
Oh, you know what? I didn't do. Let me go back to this other
Did
lady.
you miss something?
Well, I didn't. Hold on. Where was she?
Hold on for one
Amy,
more day.
what I didn't do was give you some confetti.
Oh,
you lost 16 pounds. Woo!
Yay! You have to celebrate all the
well, I
right?
meant to. I apologize, Amy.
Try to do better next time, Christopher, would you?
I'm doing my best here. I'm doing my best. Let's go down here.
All right. Love the channel, and thank you for everything. Well, thanks, Jordan Book. Jordan Book. I've never heard the last name Book, but I like it. How do you say that name?
Oh, I thought you were done.
Past it? No.
Zenaid Valadez.
All right. Hi, everyone. Enjoy your cruise. I'm celebrating. I got off, stalled, down 5 pounds. Okay. I don't know what that means. Anthony says Christopher should lead more with the working for a Fortune 5 company thing. Maybe Novo and Lily would actually listen. Right? You think he's going to say Fortune 500 or Fortune 50, but no, Fortune 5. So what are the top 5? Walmart, Lowe's Home Improvement. Ask me how I know. And I don't know the other ones. Probably Tesla. I don't know. Amazon.
I don't think Tesla's Fortune 5.
No?
I don't think so.
Amazon for sure. Michelle says, love all your content, safe travels, and thank you for all of the great info you share. Thanks, Michelle.
I'm trying to make sure because I had to scroll. I'm making sure I didn't miss anybody. Hold on.
Yeah.
It happens. I apologize if I did.
You guys remember that Friends when they go to oh wait, Piggy just sent us a super chat. Let's check into that. Thank you, Piggy, for your super chat. Let's see. What does it say? Has anyone heard is Novo or Lilly are developing any GLP-1 based formulations specifically targeted for maintenance? I don't know that.
I don't know that there's any specifically targeted for maintenance. I know that when David Ricks, the CEO of Eli Lilly, talks about orforglipron, that is one of his talking points.
What's orforglipron, Christopher?
Orforglipron is
and where can I get that?
Well, it's not available yet.
Not available yet.
Theoretically available mid next year.
It'll be a pill.
It'll be a pill. And David Ricks talks about it being cheaper to make, cheaper to distribute, easier to distribute. There's no refrigeration. All that's being shelf stable, all that fun stuff. Basically, its efficacy being right at where Wegovy and Ozempic are. But if he could get it to you cheaper, faster, easier.
Cheaper would be
cheaper, faster, easier, and help you maintain. Their presumption is it would probably be the entryway for most people on GLP-1. So although he has tirzepatide, you're probably going to have tiered pricing with orforglipron be the pill. It's the kind of the pathway into GLP-1s for a lot of people. Tirzepatide stepping up, and then when retatrutide comes out, which is like the super GLP-1 that has 3 actions to it, probably being the most expensive. And then it would allow your doctor to write the right prescription for you based off of your weight and your health and all those things and your place in your journey. So I don't think there's anything specifically for maintenance.
So I'm in maintenance, right? And I see this orforglipron coming. And so if it comes out and it's super and it's cheaper than what I'm currently paying for compounded tirzepatide, well, yeah, I'd switch right over and see if I can maintain my weight on it. So I think as these different medications come out and prices kind of hopefully adjust downward, we'll see. And it really, I feel like everybody is so different in maintenance that you're just going to have to not experiment, but experiment with your doctor's guidance and see what works best for you. So do you need to stay on that top dose? Like Christopher's staying on 15. We've heard a lot of doctors say, the dose that you end losing weight on, stay on that dose. A year ago, the advice was titrate down. So I titrated down. And it's working fine for me, titrating down. So I think it just depends on your tolerance to the medication, how it works in your body, and who knows what else, right? Kathy says, any advice for someone who is about to begin and is phobic of nausea? Well, your doctor could prescribe you some anti-nausea medication if that's really what's holding you back.
The biggest thing I would tell you is stop reading Facebook groups and Reddit pages, because if you read those, you would think everybody in the world gets every symptom. Everybody's constipated. Everybody's nauseous. They're constantly throwing up. And the reality of the research tells you that between 20 and 30% of people get any one symptom. And only about 10% of those people actually stop taking the medication because of the symptoms. So it's not as prevalent as Facebook groups would have you believe.
Right. You're not guaranteed that you'll get nausea, right? You might, or you might not. I mean, worst you can do is try it. If you feel nauseous, you could, stop or have your doctor prescribe you something.
All right.
It's worth trying, though. I mean, if you have weight to lose, these medications are just so life-changing. I would say, what are your fears if you don't go on these medications? If you don't, work on your weight. So
let's see here. I think I got backed up. Hopefully I didn't skip anybody. If I skip somebody, I apologize. There's a lot flowing right here. If you had a question, pop it down in the again, and we will get to it in the chat.
Journey of life. I haven't actually dosed up from 2.5 milligrams since April, and that's the lowest dose. That's the dose I lost 16 pounds on. I think you're doing great, Amy. Yeah. So if you're losing weight on a dose, like there's no need to go up. Like just if you're losing 1 to 2 pounds a week, just stay on that dose, right? Once you stop losing weight for a week or two, maybe then it's time to go up in dose. But work with your doctor and see what they say. We're not doctors. Have we said that lately?
If not,
we're not doctors. This is not medical advice. Anita Smith says, I have now lost 144 pounds.
Yeah.
Wow. Absolutely life-saving. I was headed for a liver transplant and losing 144 pounds of fat. And my liver enzymes are perfect. Well, that's amazing. And congratulations. And absolutely life-saving. I like that you put in there. I have no words. People are going to ask, the next question people ask is, well, how long did it take you? I'm going to bet it took you at least a year. But let us know, Anita. Let us know how long it took you, because people want to know stuff like that.
You need to come on the Downsized Dish to do an interview.
Send me an email. Put up Wayne Whitmer says he's in size 38 jeans. Woo-hoo-hoo. Wayne Whitmer, we haven't done a Downsized Dish with Wayne, have we?
No, I think he keeps saying he's not ready yet.
Oh, okay. Well, size 38 jeans, Wayne. All right, put up my email address. And so if people want to come on the Downsized Dish. So I like to talk to people. We do interviews with people who are on their GLP-1 journey at any phase of your journey, right? If you're just starting and you want to talk about it, if you're in the middle and you need some encouragement, if you're at the end and want to celebrate, or maintenance and you want to explore, like, what do I do now? Send me an email and you can be on our show. It's Lorraine@thedownsized.org. So send me an email. I'll send you a link to our calendar and you can be on the Downsized Dish.
Oh, let's see here. Yeah, we got Wayne and his jeans, right? Val F says, are the closets good sized on the cruise ship? It's 4 nights, Val F.
Yeah. So, I always run out of clothes hangers. And you can ask your cabin steward to bring you more. I wouldn't. Some people bring them on. Don't bring them on. But yeah, there's. Actually, let me remember, because we were on the Celebrity Reflection in February. Yeah, there was quite.
And the other key is
there's drawers and cabinets.
There's space under the bed. You can slide your suitcases.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't have to take up space in your room. We did the nausea one, correct? Let's see here. Valerie Scruggs, who's a member, says, I set 5-pound goals and celebrate hitting them.
Perfect.
Setting those mini goals is essential. I think our friend over at Fit Flavor Fun, Allie, talks about she likes to buy handbags.
Yeah, what are some little rewards you can do for yourself at 5 pounds? It doesn't have to be monetary things. Maybe you take a bubble bath, or go for a walk in a special place, or you read extra time in your book, or something like that, or buy yourself a handbag, or get a manicure or a pedicure,
or take a nap.
Take a nap. I'm going to take a celebratory nap.
If I could make my family go away.
Well,
they're always going, hey Dad, what are you doing? Hey Dad, what are you doing?
Every time I try to take a nap, you're in there going, oh, there you are. I've been looking for you. I'm like, you found me. Yeah, but that's great. Set 5-pound goals.
James is out there. Barb, hello, James. How are you? Hello, Barb. Val F must be bringing her ball gowns.
Yep. Yeah, ball gowns are hard to pack in a suitcase. Ruby Poo, how important is it to have constant management, My cardiologist prescribed my Zepbound, and I doubt as a busy heart doc he will have time to do much other when I call him with problems. You know what? If he's prescribing it to you, that's kind of his job. And if you have a question, then
and what I would do is talk to him. So very often on doctors' teams, they have nurse practitioners, or there's somebody else that can field calls, or like we have an app on my chart that we can send messages to our doctor, particularly in those first few months where you're going to have questions. You want to have access to them.
Well, and when you say cardiologist, that ratchets it up a couple levels, right? So you definitely want some direct communication with your cardiologist. So don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to call. If you have a question, call or email or whatever your protocol is with your doctor. And, the nurse will talk to you, take your question, put it to the doctor if they can't answer it. So that's why they're there. I mean, people think, oh, I don't want to bother my doctor. Bother your doctor, right? I mean, they'll let you know.
And I assure you, you're not their first patient that's on this medication, so they know people are going to have questions. There's probably some sort of protocol that they have in place to help manage that.
Yeah.
Ask.
Yeah.
And again, cardiologists, take care of yourself. I mean, I think the first year I went to the doctor every 3 months and got a full blood panel.
Every 3 months?
No, not a full blood. A partial every 3 months, and then a full one every 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked because honestly, my doctor had only prescribed a few people, and he was learning along with me. And he was really honest about it.
How your blood pressure was affected. Christopher had high blood pressure and high cholesterol. That's why he went to the doctor every 3 months while on first Mounjaro and then Zepbound, because the doctor was like, I don't know how this is going to work, so let's have you coming in. I don't know how to say that.
Hard to say.
Malua.
I think that's an I. Maihoua. Not sure how to say that. Hello, anyway. I'm not sure. I don't want to butcher your name.
I'm sorry. I messed up your name. Can you clarify if Lilly is going to make every dose except 2.5 milligrams $4.99 once the 12 and 15 are available, or do they need to continue to order within the 45-day period to get this price?
Yes, but I don't remember the rules. I think the 2.5 and the 5s you don't have to continue to order, and then above 7.5 you do.
You don't have to continue to order every 45 days? Right. What are you saying?
I think the 2.5 and the 5, check me please, I could be wrong. You can order at will. You don't have to do it every 45 days, and above that you have to order it every 45 days or the price goes up.
I would just plan on reordering the vials every 45 days. The 2.5 milligram dose is lower than $4.99. I think it's $3.99.
It's $3.99, I think.
But every other dose is $4.99, and I would plan on ordering that every 45 days. They are worried that people are going to try to split these doses, extend the doses, and they will penalize you if you're trying to do that. And you shouldn't really split or extend these vials, because these vials are not made to last once punctured. Once these vials there's a one-time use vial. Once they're punctured, you need to use up that medication immediately, because it's not like compounded medication that's made to, sit in the vial for 28 days and last. Yeah. They're made to be used once punctured. So that's how you need to roll with the vials. Hello, Melissa, Chasing Sunshine. Sorry I'm late. Hi, Downsized fam. Melissa, hello.
Brian Dole, who's a member, I'm new as well, started May 8th and down 10 pounds today for first time. I was actually hungry. Thursday, a shot day, and 0.02 semaglutide.
Semaglutide, yep. So toward the end of the week, that's good job. Toward the end of the week, you might feel your hunger returning as you get closer to shot day, because the medicine has a half-life in your system of 5 days. So those first 5 days, you're cruising along, and then all of a sudden you might get to day 5, 6, 7 and be like, wow, I'm a little hungry. I'm a little hungry. I'm thinking about food a little bit more. So you might see that as you go along. It's Darium. If you have questions, please start your comment with the QQQQ. It will help Durham's see your question. Thanks, Darium. It's nice to see you here. Cynthia Bickney says, Kathy, don't focus on nausea. I agree. You will lose your appetite. I got very tired day 2 after the shot, but it got better. Yeah, I mean, you can't let the nausea hold you back, right? Has anyone tried Olipop? Billy, for real. 9 grams of fiber per can? Are you kidding me? Like,
I thought you tried it, or you tried Poppy.
I tried Poppy.
I think it's similar.
Did Poppy have fiber?
I think it's that whole probiotic
9
thing.
grams of fiber per can?
Is it thick? I've never tried it.
Does it taste good? Well, it's his new favorite drink. Somebody told me they liked the Olipop better than the Poppy. You know, I'm all about getting the fiber in because I need to keep things moving because things really don't like to move through my body very well, on or off GLP-1s, I've come to realize. It's yummy, Bill. All right. So losing it with Gray must like the Olipop. We'll have to, maybe we should do I don't want to drink more than one of those at a time. A taste test.
We can do a taste test.
Rashida says, hey, y'all, how's it going today? Well, it's going pretty good. We just found out my daughter's car has a cracked radiator or cracked transmission, which hopefully will be able to be glued back together. Fingers crossed. But other than that, pretty good. Note, to speak to a specific person, write @ before the name and click on it when it comes up. All right. There you go. Thank you, Barb. We have, experienced YouTubers among us, such as Barb and Darium. Audrey Hersey said, Hersey, I really enjoy listening to all of your content.
Thank you.
And then she writes something else, but I think it got cut off. Oh, yeah. Gwen saw our commercial on the History Channel yesterday.
We still have not seen it live and in the person. I think she'd lose her mind if she was standing there on the History Channel when it came up.
I would. So for those of you who don't know, Christopher and I recorded a commercial for Mochi Health back in February. And
prior to all the
to everything like blowing
up. There's a whole video on it if you really want to go know about it. You can watch the commercial. We made a video and we show all the videos and talk about them. And I wonder which one is really like out there in the wild, like which one they show the most. Probably it's the one of us together where you're cooking the salmon, I'd have to say. One of my sorority sisters from college messaged me and said, did I see you on a commercial playing pickleball? Because at the end we're playing pickleball. I'm like, yes, you did. That was me. She's like, oh my gosh. But thanks for letting us know, Gwen. That's funny. I think I see another super chat from Piggy. Thank you, Piggy. Just realized Novo and Novo and Lilly could release vials for maintenance with added B12, glycine, etc.
And in theory, kill any avenue for 503As by having vials for custom dosing. Yeah, sure.
I mean, that's kind of the whole challenge of all those regulations, particularly with the vials, is Lilly can do whatever they want to do, and they don't have to build new factories out there to do vials. There are factories everywhere that they can outsource that to all around the world, so they could do whatever they wanted to do. I don't know if they want to inventory
release
all
vials for maintenance. I mean, I would think that at some point they would want to introduce that, right? Because as more and more people go on these medications and transition into maintenance, I would think they would want to have a plan in place to keep people on the medication.
Now, Piggy, as I recall, you have more knowledge about this than I do. I think the challenge is when you're running an FDA-regulated drug,
can you
like tirzepatide, can you add stuff to it without having to
get
do
reapproved?
The reapprovals and the long-term, and I don't know. I'm not saying I know the answer.
Great question.
But there's multiple paths they could take to get rid of compounders, and certainly allowing for variable dosing and things like that.
But I'm not taking the compounded for the added B12, right? Who cares? I'm taking it for the price.
They could also
price.
They could also sell some B12 with your vial through Lilly Direct.
I mean, I've taken B12 shots. They never really did anything for me. I mean, other people it might work for you and that's great or whatever, but it's about the price. I mean, if they can bring the price down, who's going to want a compound if you can get the brand name for the same price?
Yeah. And if Novo could get to $199 every week for Wegovy, I feel like Lilly has to bring the price down on tirzepatide, or they have to hold out long enough to get Ozempic, Wegovy, whatever they're going to, or Forglipron, Forglipron out there at a cheaper price.
Because really, when you talk about these medications being lifelong medications, I mean, who's going to pay $4.99 every month for life? Like
Yeah,
nobody, right? That's just not. It's not.
I think somewhere down the road,
feasible.
these things are like $1 a day. 10 years from now, there's
I mean,
pills
maybe
that are
we
$1 a
get
day.
to where statins are now,
Yeah, I
right?
think that's what happens.
Statins are very affordable. They were the greatest thing when they first came out. So, yeah, sure, we'd love to see it.
Here.
Anthony, QQQ. So, do you guys think prices will look a lot different by the end of 2026? Here's hoping. Yeah, I mean, hopefully. What do you think will actually be released by then besides orforglipron? Maybe cagrilintide and retatrutide.
Probably all three, honestly. Cagrilintide a push. We'll see. That one's a little more complicated with the dual action, and because it's in two. I don't know. They're still figuring all that.
It has an amylin and semaglutide.
It does.
In cagrilintide. What's an amylin? I don't know. It's another thing like a GLP-1.
I think there's a lot of chess pieces at play here. I think the new Novo Nordisk CEO's going to have to come in and demonstrate leadership and make some changes. I would suspect that is going to be price changes. They might be waiting on whoever that magic person is to go ahead and do $199 at Wegovy. I think if Novo does $199 Wegovy, Lilly's going to have to respond or they're going to lose share, because no matter what the research says, people are going to make price-based decisions. And there's a lot of people that need to lose 50 pounds or 60 pounds that semaglutide's just fine. A lot of people that have done really well on semaglutide.
Yeah.
I think orforglipron will be the next big move that lowers prices. And if there's a price war going on with a Wegovy or orforglipron comes out, then I think Eli Lilly, if I'm sitting there and wargaming it, I'm going to crush them with price and try and flood the market and take as much share as I possibly can.
If you're either one of them.
Either one of them.
Yeah. I mean, and they're just neck and neck, right? And they hate, Novo Nordisk hates that it's losing right now to Eli Lilly. Eli Lilly has the bigger market share, and analysts are saying, hey, I mean, Novo,
I feel like orforglipron will be the cheapest one. It could very well come in at $100 a month. I think tirzepatide is going to stay up in the couple $100 range no matter what. Maybe you get it at $195, but it performs better. It's harder to use. You have to have all the stuff. And I think retatrutide is going to be expensive. Retatrutide may still be in the $500 to $1,000 range.
Yeah, what we're looking at is maybe retatrutide gets made for people with
I think you're going to have a high BMI.
Right, the highest end of the obesity, like the people who are 400, 500 pounds. Maybe they start with the retatrutide and then, work their way, change medications as they drop significant amounts of weight, just to change it up and keep it effective.
Basically, retatrutide will be the newest, shiniest Corvette, and they're not going to sell that at a cut rate price. I can assure you. Yeah. It's going to be expensive.
Well, and I think they're going to have to be careful with that of who gets it, because
they're saying the weight melts off.
If you have 30 pounds to lose, you're probably not going to be able to get retatrutide, right? And you probably wouldn't want to lose.
But then orforglipron is perfect for you.
Yeah, right. Then orforglipron, right? That's like that's probably. I'm hoping that will be what I transition to sometime in 2026. So
and then we've been talking about there's all kinds of amylins that'll be coming after that in 27, 28. So there's a lot of cool stuff coming.
Yeah.
Cynthia.
Doing my 53rd shot right now. Woohoo! Down 55 pounds. And I'm a goal. Yay! That sounds similar to my journey, Cynthia. Congratulations. 53rd shot. Down 55 pounds, right? A little over a pound a week. Perfect. Rima says, I started GLP-1 in March, lost about 14 pounds in 3 months. Now I'm in a plateau for a month, and the weight doesn't go down. How do you get out of a plateau? Okay, so plateau.
First of all, ask what dose they're on and how long they've been on that dose.
Well, she lost 14 pounds in 3 months, which isn't.
And say you're not a doctor.
We are not doctors. Yeah, I would say if you started in March, April, May, June. So she's probably on 2.5, maybe 7.5. Maybe you haven't moved up, and maybe that means it's time for you to move up, ask your doctor. Maybe your body's getting a little bit used to the medication if you've stayed on a certain dose, and maybe you find you're able to eat a little bit more, and that's affecting things. Maybe you need to do something different. Maybe you need to add more movement into your day, more exercise, a different exercise. Maybe you need to eat some different things. Maybe you need to focus on protein. Maybe you need to drink 100 ounces of water a day. There's just maybe you're constipated. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many things. But basically it comes down to, what are you eating? What dose are you on? And are you getting enough protein, enough exercise? Like those kind of things would be the things I would look at first. What you say?
I don't want to know more.
She's really just starting.
The thing that I have seen most often lately is people wanting to hang on to a dose longer than they should.
Yes.
And I understand it. If you got a lot of weight to lose, you want to like stay on that. And there's a lot of reasons for it. The challenge is you end up wasting your own money and your own time if you're on some of these lower doses too long and they're not working for you. So talk to your doctor. Yeah. And titration exists for a reason. It's because your body becomes adjusted.
Well, and I think some people, maybe their friends and family gave them a hard time about going on a GLP-1. So they're like, well, I'll just go on this lowest dose, or maybe I'll start with a micro dose, right? I don't support micro dosing. If that works for you, great. There's no research on it, right? So I think a lot of times somebody might say, oh, well, I'm just I lost all my weight on 2.5, or I'm on the smallest dose. And somehow that's better than saying, well, I'm on the 15 milligram. Like,
there's no moral win. It doesn't matter.
There's no difference. Like, we have these different doses because people are different. And it would make you very sick if you just started on 15. So you have to find the dose that works for you. And there is no shame in going up in dose. There is no shame in staying on a dose. There's do not let that be what holds you back from making the best decision for your health. And I know it, and people ask me all the time, oh, well, now that you've lost your weight, are you going to go down in dose? And for a long time, I thought, oh, I guess, the doctor had mentioned it. I guess that's what I'm supposed to do. Are you going to go off the medication? No, I'm never going to go off the medication because I have the disease of obesity, right? If I quit taking this medication, my weight will go back up. So we just have to normalize taking these medications. Yeah, and do what works for you. And that may not be your case, but I just kind of
we don't really know enough.
Went into that. Yeah.
Here's James from Australia.
Oh, hey, James, difficult nerd. Went to the theater to see one of my favorite, with a U, musicals on Friday night. I noticed about halfway through that I was comfortable in the seat.
That's an on-scale victory there, James.
Excellent,
Good
James.
for you, man.
Very good. And you have to know what musical you saw. Was it one of the main ones? One of the lesser known, like everybody knows Wicked and like Mamma Mia, like I don't know, I can't even name off the top of my head now. Wayne Whitmer, thank you for your $10 super chat. Thank you. What, if anything, is the most difficult about maintenance that may have surprised you, and what is different than maintenance on past diets? I never got to maintenance on any other diet, Wayne. Thanks for asking. What do folks have to look forward to in maintenance? Well, Wayne, I know you have liked and subscribed to our channel, and thank you for your super chat. I did a video on maintenance the other day, and it got kind of a lukewarm response because not a lot of people are in maintenance, and I get that. Okay, so the most difficult thing about maintenance is that
What do you have? Why are you doing the evil?
I don't know. I'm trying to think about the most difficult thing. It goes on forever, right? I lost 2 more pounds. There's no like celebrations, right? I'm there. I went from a size 12, 14 to a size 4, 6. I lost 50 pounds. I feel better. I can do more things. I'm there. I'm where I want to be. So now how do I keep it there? How do I, if I go on vacation and I come back and I'm up 6 pounds, what do I do? Is it all going to go out the window? Well, no. So I get back on my plan and I get back to doing all the things I did to get me to this point, right? I focus on my food, on my protein, on my water, on my exercise. So, what is different than maintenance on past diets? I never got to my goal weight in all my years of dieting. Like I could never get below, I'm 5'5", so I could never get below 170 pounds. And that's when I was running half marathons and doing triathlons and shit. So, I can't speak to that, but maintenance it's a journey. I still track my shots every week. I still track how I'm feeling, what I'm doing, what I have to still make sure I don't get constipated because that's just how my body works. So, you can't really just say, oh, I'm there. Yay, I don't have to do this anymore. No, you still have to do all the things, and you're going to be doing all the things or else the weight will come back. Interesting aside, when I was 13, my mom took me to Nutrisystem, and I think it was about in the 7th grade. And I did Nutrisystem, and I ate the prepackaged meals, and my mom made me like Nutrisystem cupcakes and crap like that, right? And I lost 10 pounds, 15 pounds. And I think that was like all they wanted me to lose at that particular point. And I thought, great, I'm cured. Now I can eat anything I want, like my skinny friend Amy, who eats anything she wants, and she's skinny as a rail. And much to my chagrin, I learned that no, it doesn't work that way, right? Once we get to our goal, we can't just say, "Yay, I'm here. I don't have to do this anymore." No, you still have to do it. You still have the disease of obesity, but that's okay because we have tools to manage it now.
So I have two things. The first is very functional. So we spent, a year and a half basically learning how to eat with GLP-1s and building different, not a diet because we don't think of it as a diet, but eating habits and patterns and things. At maintenance, when you shift from saying I'm eating, in a calorie deficit to eating at normal so that you're maintaining
At
it
a maintenance level.
at a maintenance level,
Mhm.
it's a whole different way of thinking, and you have to add calories in, and you still have to work it out to figure out what that means for your
Yeah.
body, because there's no set answer, and your body might react differently to carbs than Lorraine's body does or whatever. So there's still a little figuring out there.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of had gotten in the habit of maybe I ate breakfast or maybe I didn't. I'd drink a third of a protein shake and call it breakfast. But now I kind of feel like, and especially since I've moved down in dose, I need to eat. I need a high protein breakfast. I need a high protein lunch. I need a high protein dinner. I need to hit those protein targets, or I feel like I'm gonna lose my progress, right? Because I can get hungry now because I've dropped my dose. Do you get hungry ever now?
No. Really.
I mean, occasionally I will get hungry at meal times, which I think is appropriate, right? But I find if I eat in the way that maybe I did at the beginning of my GLP-1 journey, I will get hungry and then I will end up eating too much to kind of overcompensate for that. So it's still a balance. It's still finding that how much can I eat and maintain my weight, right? I don't really want to keep losing weight. It's believe me, I hear the siren call of maybe you could get to 130 pounds, but what good's that going to do me? Nothing. It's a number on the scale. I feel good. I feel, healthy and strong and all that. So, I don't know. James gave us a super chat.
I saw that. So let me answer the other part of
Okay.
this question, and we'll be right with you, James, because you're fabulous, and he's in Australia. I think the other part is a mindset shift that is weird, because you've spent your whole life, or many of us have, saying, well, if I were just at this weight, my life would be better. I would have abs. The girls would like me. The boys would like me. Whatever your thing is, I would have a peace of mind, and there would be sun, the moon, and the stars, and all this stuff. and you get there, and because you've been chasing this distant thing, and you get there, yeah, none of that stuff actually happens.
Well,
You're skinnier and you feel better and you're healthier, and I can go up steps, and there's a lot of great things about it, but the skies did not part.
Well, I mean, I got to the goal I always wanted to get to, right? So that was in and of itself like worthy of confetti throwing and rainbows and butterflies and unicorns and all that. And for me, it was, being healthier, being smaller, able to buy clothes at any store I walked into. I was a clothing buyer for 20 years. So I was very focused on clothing and sizes. And I worked in a world where most of the people I worked with were basically anorexic. So, for me as a plus size person working in that world, it was always, I always felt kind of, maybe less than. So just to be now not a plus size person, I like that very much.
And here's a super chat in Australian from
James. Thanks, James. I saw Hedwig and the Angry Inch. Yeah, I know that one.
I've seen that show.
When did you see it? I was not with you.
No, it was before us. That show's been around a long time.
Oh, has it? Yeah.
I actually saw a double feature of they did a production of Hedwig and the Angry Inch and Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, the Australian one.
All right.
Fabulous.
Sarah's here. Sarah, do you want to say anything? You're just hanging out? What's the matter?
She says, don't talk to me.
All right. What else is happening? Slow carb. I've lost 30 pounds with low carb and have 30 more to go. It's coming off slow with the shot, but okay. Appreciate hearing all the encouraging words. Thank you and bon voyage. If you like eating low carb and that works for you, that's fantastic. I love carbs. I've always loved carbs. My daughter Sarah saying, I'm like Oprah. I love bread. I want to eat bread every day. And the nice thing about GLP-1s is it really doesn't matter what you eat because it's always been about controlling the calorie count, not about carnivore or keto or you can eat. I find if I don't eat enough carbs, I get very tired and lethargic. You have to do what's best for you, but I wouldn't be afraid of. I know your name is Slow Carb, so you're all in, and I appreciate that. But congratulations. So 30 pounds is a lot, right? And so you're right in the middle. So you can adjust. You can figure out how you feel as you go along.
And honestly, so in our since September 2023. We never completely eliminated carbs, but they were dramatically diminished. But I still maybe once a month or so I go, I need some pasta, just saying, or a piece of toast.
We definitely don't eat it as much as eat carbs as much as we used to, and we definitely try to focus on complex carbs, instead of simple. But I don't want to live a life where I have to eliminate foods because that's not how I want to live my life. So that's my story. Rachel says, Caroline says Mounjaro, Ozempic are in national shortage. Not according to Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk, and not according to a judge that just ruled on Ozempic. So,
well, he didn't rule on the shortage. He ruled on the FDA's decision about it,
saying that the drugs are now not in shortage. The FDA says they're not in shortage anymore. So,
So this is Linda speaking about the nausea question.
It's like not getting pregnant because of fear of morning sickness. It's also worth any possible side effect. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting to. Yeah, it's worth it, right? DS Kitty, Diane, I have one more 2.5 milligram dose of Zepbound to take on Friday. Then I'm going to go up to 5 milligram the following week. All right. Kind of scared. But why did you stop?
Sorry.
I'm kind of scared. I'm still losing on 2.5 milligrams. Should I have stayed there? Possibly. Do you already have your 5 milligram doses? If you're losing on 2.5, you can certainly stay on 2.5. 2.5 is thought of as the loading dose or the starting dose. So Eli Lilly never intended for anyone to stay on 2.5, but we've talked to a lot of people that have done really well on 2.5. So, I wouldn't be afraid to move up. If you want to stay on the 2.5, call your doctor and see if you can get another script for 2.5 and stick that 5 in the fridge. Those pens are generally good for at least a year. Look at the dates on your, the use by dates on your pens, but they're not going to go bad if you leave them in your refrigerator. So you want to stay on 2.5, stay on 2.5.
And here's the thing, and there's people out there smarter than me. So maybe Piggy knows, or maybe.
But there's nothing to be scared of by moving up. How much are you looking to lose? Yeah. Says Sarah, sitting in the back.
Yeah. What I always wonder as a research question is if I took 1,000 people, 10,000 people, and looked at them over the course of 52 weeks or 2 years, and they each had a different dosing strategy, would one of the dosing strategies actually be superior, or would it all average out and it'd still be 1.4 or 1.5
pounds per week?
Yeah. I don't know the answer, but I wonder.
Everybody has a different reaction to the medications I think it would all average out over time. So I think if you're someone who's very sensitive to the medication and on 2.5, maybe you're feeling some side effects, you're just a little bit more sensitive to it. If you're someone who goes on 2.5 and you have no side effects and you can just stay up or, move up, I think you just have to figure out how your body is working the best. And if you have a lot of weight to lose, you're going to want to stay on each dose for as long as you can, for as long as you can lose weight on that dose, right? So if you have 100 pounds to lose, I would say you need to stay on the 2.5. If you have 50 pounds to lose, I don't know, I'd go either way, but keep that in mind.
CP Charlie says, what does it mean for people who are on compounded semaglutide? So semaglutide aside, there are things called compounding pharmacies. Most towns of any size have a pharmacy in their town that is run usually by a local pharmacist.
I didn't ask you what compound.
Well, let me finish. That's how else would you explain it?
What does what mean?
Compounded semaglutide.
I think he's talking about the news.
The question is, what does it mean for people who are on compounded semaglutide?
Okay, continue.
Right. So in that case, there's a pharmacy that mixes these medications up if you have an allergy or what have you that can make them accustomed to you. If you're talking about the news that we reported on earlier, the 503Bs are compounding pharmacies that make compounded medications in mass. So they are manufacturing facilities and make it for hospitals and other large facilities. Those facilities can no longer produce it when it's out of shortage. Most people are actually getting their medications, if they're getting it through a telehealth company, from a 503A, which is a local compounding pharmacy style thing that makes a custom prescription just for you that is a little different dose, has something else in it. Those can continue. Many of them are continuing to produce, not all of them. Some of them have said we're out. And until court cases are solved, they'll continue to try and do that. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on there.
Compounders are still compounding. So today you can still get compounded semaglutide and compounded tirzepatide from certain pharmacies that are still producing it.
Some of them said, oh, I got a nasty letter from Eli Lilly, I'm out. And
yeah. And some of them just said, screw Eli Lilly, we're going to do what we want. Mitsu Grace says, hi, LNC and everyone, down 20 pounds as of today. Yay! Tomorrow will be my 11th shot. Well, you're doing great. Almost 2 pounds a week. Congratulations. That's really good. Got like a little pleasant scene there in your picture.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Sarah, do you want to say hi, Sarah? You say hi to the people?
Our youngest child, she doesn't like when she's acknowledged live. She says, I should not be a real person here. Wayne Whitmer says, I was waiting for an interview until I hit my goal, 55 pounds by my 55th birthday. That's in 10 days, so maybe in July sometime.
All right.
All right,
Cool.
Wayne, that would be awesome.
Let me know, Wayne. Jen Gamboa. Hey, y'all. I finally caught it live. I've been on a journey for a year now. I just took my last 12.5, moving up to 15 on Monday. I have been stuck since 10 milligrams. I haven't lost anything in 3 months. Well, that stinks. What's going on there? She's been on it for a year. She just stopped 12.5, moving up to 15. I'm only down 45 pounds. How much do you want to lose, Jen? Maybe the going up to 15 will help. Maybe you just need to do something different to shake things up. Maybe you're not eating enough. We haven't talked about that, me and my eat a cheeseburger theory. So sometimes you just need to eat something different at a higher calorie level, just to give your body the impression that you're not trying to starve it to death. So your metabolism revs up a little bit, and then you return back to your normal eating pattern, but your body's metabolism is still revved up a little bit, and it doesn't think you're starving.
And I think people get in the habit of eating the same thing because it's easy. Yeah. And I think your body likes variety.
Your body adapts to the same meals quickly, right?
Even if it's
very
not
good at processing those same foods.
Even if it's not high calorie, go buy something different. Go walk in and find we're in corn season right now. I know corn has carbs in it, but nobody got fat on corn. Go buy some fresh corn.
Or some
go
fruit,
go
right?
Buy some fruit. Go buy something you don't normally eat. And
I found I had totally ignored fruit for most of this journey, and I like fruit. I like a banana after my workout. I like to put some raspberries in my Greek yogurt. Like, find a way to work things back in. Health at any cost. Huge congrats to all the losers. So happy and proud of you. Thanks, Barb. Barb's got a great YouTube channel and blog called Health at Any Cost. Check her out. Kimberly Snydor. Kimmy Joe. Hey, Kimmy Joe. At Health at No Cost, I'm getting ready to start 2.5 now. I feel stalled at 52 pounds at half the starter. Time to move up. All right. So.
Yeah, it's time to move up.
Yeah. A lot of people, well, not a lot of people, a couple of people have told me, well, my doctor wanted me to start on less than a 2.5 milligram dose of tirzepatide. And I'm like, well, why? Well, the doctor just said it would be better. Well, why do they think that? Do you have some pre-existing condition? Is there, because all the studies started with 2.5. All the clinical studies started with 2.5. So I've seen, other doctors and other people talk about microdosing, which is a dose below 2.5. But I don't think, there's no clinical studies, right? I mean, you could try it, but why? Like, why not start with the 2.5? So anyway, if you've lost 52 pounds
and you're
on
doing
2.5,
okay.
You're doing pretty good.
Yeah. Hold on, did I give her some confession?
Jen Gamboa. That's Darren. You don't need to give Darian.
Yeah, I know.
Although I'm sure he appreciates it, right, Darren?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's a great weight loss. So
well, and you're right in the average. So it's 0.5 to 2 pounds. It's the lower end of the average. Sorry, but it's working for you still. Is it slower than we would all want it to be? Yeah, that kind of sucks. But let's see here. Where were we?
Dude, no. Y'all drinking your water? I got a new Hello Kitty cup.
Losing with Grace says every parent's wildest fantasies, uninterrupted sleep. That was my nap coming.
Yeah. DS Kitty says, Jen, I can't wait till I'm at 45 pounds, currently at 20 pounds. Just keep going and you'll get there, right? Just keep going. Marissa says, really appreciate your just take your shot approach. That's Christopher's motto. It's a relief to know that the medicine will work and you can take time to build sustainable, healthy habits without the pressure to be perfect. Lord knows we are not perfect. No. People say, oh, I want to do a video of what you eat in a day. I am not showing y'all what I eat in a day because it's not a perfectly laid out, perfectly proteined thing, right? It's just, I'm not perfect. You don't have to be perfect, right? You just have to get most of the things going. But the main thing is
take the shot.
Just take your shot, right? So
There's a lot of other things you can do, but it doesn't have to
you don't have to do them all at once.
I read
You gotta
sometimes
build 'em in.
on Facebook, and people are like, well, you have to do this and you have to do this and you have to do this. Many of
You don't
those
gotta
things
do
are great
nothing.
ideas, and many of those things may be additive, but you don't honestly have to do any of the rest of the stuff. Might be helpful.
Yeah.
It's probably not going to dramatically accelerate anything, but you do you.
Yeah. Rita says, when did you guys first start feeling more confident in your new bodies? Am I confident now? I'm not really sure. Any tips? I've been going to like progressively harder exercise classes. And I think, increasing the weights that I can pick up and the things that I can do have given me a little bit more confidence. I went to a HIIT interval training class today at the gym that was super hard. I could do the things, and some of them I could barely, make it through. But we get to the class, and before it starts, the trainer says, "Okay, everybody run 3 laps around the track," and 3 laps. So that's about 11 laps is a mile on this little track in the gym. And before, if the leader had said that to me, I probably would have just left, because I'm not running. I don't run anymore. I don't like running. I don't want to run. So I said, okay, well, I'll just take it slow. And I could do it. And I wasn't out of breath, and I wasn't about to die, and it was fine. It wasn't like walking, but it was fine. So, as we are able to do more of these things, that's where I don't know, first started feeling more confident. I hit my goal about a year ago, and probably maybe 6 months after I hit my goal, I bought more bathing suits. I bought smaller clothes.
This is the woman who you guys talk about her arms. Well, for the first 21 years of our marriage, she
I
wouldn't
never
wear
wore
anything
sleeveless tops because I have big arms, right? They're just naturally big. But now, hopefully there's more muscle here than fat. Like, I still have some loose skin, but I want to be strong, right? And I just got to the point really where I'm just like, I don't care. I'm going to wear what I want to wear, and it's fine. So it took me a long time. It took me my whole life to get to this point. And after about 6 months on maintenance, I guess, to get to this point.
And there's just, as you lose the weight, there's things that you'll begin to notice. I was 100 pounds overweight. So when I slept, a lot of times there were only certain positions I could sleep in comfortably. And my stomach was big enough, it would like weigh me down to one side. Now that's a very men are often shaped like that.
Yeah, no,
but once that started to diminish, you notice it dramatically.
Well, when I sleep on my side now and my knees are on top of each other, like the bones hit, like there's no, like this isn't as comfortable as it used to be. It's just different, right?
Honestly, it's the little things. It's the way pants are made for men. They don't ever take into consideration that you're big, right? They're always skinny man pants that they just made bigger. So they're not actually made to take into account that you have. So if you wear, they're not, I promise.
Okay.
So if you're larger and you wear, you end up having to get wider belts because your pants will roll over from your gut.
Oh,
it's the worst. It's the worst. So that as you get to a place where you're going, because I went from a size 42 down to a size 32. So 10 full inches in waist.
Mm-hmm.
The pants hang straight.
Mm.
And they just look better.
Yeah.
Right? They're made for that kind of body. They're not actually made for bigger people.
Yeah, when I was a clothing buyer, so the women's sizes, we went from 4 to 16 in regular sizes, and everything was spec'd to a size 8. So our fit model was a size 8. We fit everything to that, and we either went down to a 4 from there or up to a 16 from there. And our plus size model, I think, was a 14, and we went in plus sizes. We went 14 to 24. So if you're starting with a size 14 pattern and then gradually speccing it up, 5 or 6 more sizes, it's gonna get distorted. It wasn't made for that size person. It was made for that 8-fit model or for that 14
But
fit
it's
model.
one of those things that it doesn't magically change overnight. If you've been fighting this for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, whatever, it's not going to magically change because you looked at the scale and we're at a magic number. It's just it's something we got to keep working on. Let's see, Christian.
Hey, Christian, thanks for your super chat. Hello, everyone. 8 months on tirzepatide, 2 on compound, and 6 on Mounjaro. Currently on 12.5, 80 pounds down, and 40 to go. Well, that's awesome. Well, welcome. We're glad you're here, and congratulations on your weight loss. Yeah, okay. I hope you got some insurance coverage. So that's great. Congratulations. Thank you for your super chat.
Did I do this one?
Ruby Poo. Maybe. Thank you for responding to my question. I am loving your show. Friday will be my second injection. All right, good job. Have you all hit the like button out there? Got 235 likes. Y'all hit the like.
374 people on there.
At Rita, still not confident. Have been on meds 3 years. So, Barb, can I fill them in on your story, Barb? Barb went from 405 pounds.
Girl, you say it every time. I don't know.
Over 400 pounds to 120 pounds in 3 years. Life-changing weight loss, life-changing medication. So, confidence is something that I'm definitely working on. I guess Barb's working on. A lot of us are just going to be working on. So just something to think about on this journey. Val F says, my understanding of Lilly Direct, you must order every 45 days or your price will go up $100.
Yeah, which is true except for the lowest doses. So, and here's Jody's answering that question. So we actually interviewed Jody today.
Right. Hey, Jody. 2.5 is $349. All other doses $499. 45-day rule is for 10 milligram and above. Thank you, Jody, for that clarification. Jody is on the Zepbound Files. I talked to her today. Very interesting story. Make sure you like and subscribe so that you see her interview when it comes up in a couple of weeks. She was basically a thin person all of her life and had some medical issues come up that caused her to gain weight and it just couldn't be resolved with regular medication. And once she got that Zepbound, man, she was off to the races. So, it's interesting for people who, a lot of people have battled obesity their whole life, or maybe something triggered it, like a pregnancy or menopause or an autoimmune disease or something like that. So it's really interesting to see people who weren't battling the disease of obesity, but it came on because of some other thing and how effective the Zepbound was to help them. So really, really fascinating. Kathy says, thanks to you both. You helped me big time, and thanks for others who commented. Have a great trip. Thanks, Kathy. Cherry Pie, have fun on your cruise. She's my cherry pie. Crystal Plachette, like Suzanne Plachette. Hello from Detroit, the Motor City. Detroit, hello. Thanks for watching. Bill for real. I love the Olipop flavors. Yes, 9 grams of fiber, and instead of having digestive issues after drinking it, it seems to not upset the stomach. Yeah, so I drank one of those poppies. I was at Aldi, and they have those cold cases when you check out, and so sometimes I'll get like a Diet Coke out of the thing, but they only had the 24-ounce Diet Coke, the big bottles, right? Not the cans, but the bottles. And I found now I'm a Diet Coke like fanatic. Like I love a good Diet Coke. But now I find when I drink those bigger bottles, I'll drink it all at one time because that's just what I do. It kind of hurts my stomach a little bit. So I was up there at the front and they had some poppies in the case too. And I said, oh, I haven't tried
got cola
these.
Flavors, right? What flavor did you get?
I got like strawberry lemonade or something.
Yeah, that'd be a hard pass for me.
And I looked at the calories. It was 30 calories. And I thought, oh, let's try it. And I hadn't tried it before. They're kind of expensive. They probiotics, like, I don't know about probiotics. Like, is this going to be the right probiotic for me? Like, I drank one and I really liked it, and I think it helped with some digestive issues. So I'll try the Olipop too. See how they work.
Gwen says it was the short version of the commercial on History Channel. So there's 30-second versions
There's
and
a
15-second
versions. Yeah, there's one version when we recorded it, Christopher was talking about his parents, and the director's crying and the camera crew's crying and we're crying and everybody's crying. So if no one was crying, then it was probably the short version. So.
Jody, who works for a medical device company, says you cannot add things to drugs without reapproval by the FDA.
Yeah.
Which I think if we have listened to them, that's very, very expensive.
Yeah. Obsessed with Scrapbooking says, how fast will Novo respond price-wise to Lilly's $499 match?
Remains to be seen. I don't know.
I don't know. We hope soon, right? I mean, I think they just dropped the first month of Wegovy to $199. So and all the other doses to $499.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
the problem is, though, it's a savings card price.
Oh, is that how they're doing
it? So it's a savings card price, which means if you're Medicare or Medicaid, you cannot access that price. So you're still paying $1,000 for Wegovy or whatever.
I mean, I would think in any kind of pricing war, they're going to give it at least 90 days to see how the market responds, right? See if their sales go up, or if they need to drop it again to get even more.
Remember, they don't have a CEO right now.
Well, if somebody's leading the
leading
department,
it,
right? Somebody's doing the price analysis. So I would just think with any price change, it'll be at least 90 days before we see a next change. But I'd love to see $199 for all doses of all GLP-1s today. Pammy, hey Pammy. She's got a great YouTube also. Celebrating 8 months on maintenance, I titrated down from 10 milligrams of Mounjaro, 2 months on 7.5, then 6 months on 5, staying in the range of 148 to 154 every week. I'm lower in the 3 days after each shot. Oh, that's interesting. Your weight goes lower when you take the shot, and then it gets higher as you come around to shot time. Well, that's great that you recognize that and you're using that range. You know the range where you need to be and the range where your body is before and leading up to and after the shot. That's interesting. SoCal Ghoul, Retta is the nuclear option. Yeah.
And I think the challenge of Retatrutide is all the early numbers say you lose weight a lot and you lose it quickly. And there's no doctor or researcher that I've said that really more than 2 pounds a week sustained is healthy anyway.
Right.
So until there's and we've reported on a bunch of other medications that help with maintaining muscle and doing other things, until there's something to layer with Reddit to help protect your body a little bit.
Yeah.
They're not just going to write it to anybody who needs to lose.
Well, if Retatrutide makes you lose more than 2 pounds a week, I mean, that's when people start getting into things like hair loss and like some, rapid weight loss, like we saw with some of these people lose their gallbladders with that OptiFast or that liquid diet that was in the 90s. So, doctors are going to have to be careful with that.
I mean, Wall Street thinks that, anything that goes faster is going to be the best option. I don't know. I think it's certainly a sexy number. I still think anything that's going to come out at an affordable price and be extremely accessible that can go to the 74% of America is going to win.
Yeah.
Even if it's a little slower.
74% of America has overweight or obesity. 74%. So these drugs can really help.
And I think right now you're looking at GLP-1 penetration in U.S. of 10 to 12% total. So there's a lot of growth opportunity that they're looking at, and they're saying at what price could we really open up?
And Eli Lilly is making $4 billion per quarter from its per quarter, times 4. Then that's their it's mind blowing money they're making here.
Michael Deeds.
Hey, Christopher and Lorraine in the office. I'm glad I can catch your live episode. I just want to thank you for everything you both do and all the help. Thanks for the travel advice too. Well, you're welcome. And I think, did your wife start too?
I believe so.
And I think he emailed me. He got a vial that was warm, and was trying to get it replaced. So you want to talk about warm vials? Like, what should they do, Christopher?
Do I want to? Not particularly.
What do they do if they get some compounded medication or any, of this GLP-1 medication, and the vials are not cold? Your phone is sting. All right, I'll tell you what you do. You call your provider, call the pharmacy, call whoever sent it to you, and say, "Hey, man, you didn't put enough ice packs in. It's warm, and now I don't know if this medicine is still viable," and go from there. Because really, it should be under 80 degrees is really where you want it to be under. And so I know things get shipped, and it's summertime and it's hot, and so you need to look at that. But if it's out of the refrigerator at room temperature, it can be out of the refrigerator for 28 days, right?
That is correct.
That's the thing. So if it just comes to room temperature, you've got 28 days. Don't put it back in the refrigerator, because once it's at room temp, there's no putting the genie back in the bottle, right? So, but you do want to make sure that your meds arrive cold, because you paid for those, and they should have shipped them properly. And what happened? So I would demand replacement or refund, really. And we have like one of those little meat thermometers. You can some people get it and stick it down in the box where the vial is, and take the temperature of the box, and then take a picture of that. It wouldn't hurt, right? To have.
So Alice's beloved two, it's talking about gray market. Alice, we appreciate you watching. Gray market.
We don't talk about
gray market's not something that we talk about. It's the quickest way to get banned on any social media site. It'll shut down a Facebook group. It'll shut down everything. It's also technically illegal and can be dangerous. So please talk to your doctor. You're a grown up. I'm not telling you should or should not do anything.
We just don't.
But
we don't touch that around here. So.
But
thanks for watching.
Like
that movie. We don't talk about Bruno. No. If you have little kids, you know what I'm talking about. Did you lose your place?
I did lose my place.
I lost my place. He's on the iPad, and we've got a monitor over here and a camera over here. This is our world headquarters from North Carolina. Dun 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 dun. Trying to let you get caught up there.
There you go.
Chrissy says, I'm a very slow responder. I lost 34 pounds in 44 weeks. I think you're an average responder, Chrissy, but let's continue. On 12.5 now. I know I shouldn't compare, but honestly, I am so disappointed. Don't be disappointed, Chrissy. You're doing great. What are you talking about? I eat pretty well and enough. Never had a problem with eating. Okay. I like to say 1 to 2 pounds a week is average, but really what Eli Lilly says is 0.5 pound to 2 pounds a week is average. So you're on that lower end, right? So 44 weeks, you would hope for at least 44 pounds, but you're a little lower than that. Still, 34 pounds is significant, right? No matter how much you weigh, it's significant. And you're on 12.5 now. Don't be disappointed, right? You're doing great. You're on the lower end of the average, but who cares? It's working for you. You're losing weight on this medication. So you just have to stay on it, stay the course.
What I would tell you, don't believe anything you see on social media. They're probably not telling the truth anyway, and you don't know where they started, right? So typically someone who weighs a lot more is going to lose quicker. It's just a smaller percentage of their body weight,
right?
So you can't. You got this. You're doing a great job.
Yeah, everybody wants fast weight loss. Everybody. And that's the first question I get. How long did it take you to lose this weight? Well, it took me 6 months to lose 50 pounds, right? So it just keep going, and you're going to get there. And if you're a slow responder, that's just how your body works. So I think you're doing great. So keep up the good work. At Pammy Manjaro Journey with Pam, my goal for the cruise is to sit in as many chairs as I can and it's hilarious, Barb, get a picture now that I can fit. Now to remind me that I'm smaller, weird but true. Barb, I remember reading one of Barb's blog posts on her website, health@anycost.com, where she talked about advocating for chairs in doctor's offices. If chairs have arms on them, it was really hard for her to sit in them. So she was trying to tell her doctor, I think, to have more chairs in the office without arms on them or without sides on them so she could fit. So now she's going to go around sit in all the chairs and on the cruise. And I think that's awesome. I think that's awesome, Barb. Yeah, you can post them on your blog once you are on your YouTube channel. Me in this smaller chair. Barb, right. I know so many people who lose 40 to 60 pounds and then it stops. Yeah.
Well, and because I was talking to somebody about this the other day, I have a tendency to believe it doesn't stop. It may just pause, and it may pause longer than you really want it to.
Yeah.
But particularly, we do interviews with physicians, and we talked to Dr. Dan, and what he said was the medication is still working. It's still doing things in the background. It's still doing things, and your body just may need to do what it does.
Yeah.
So you got to keep taking it to maintain it, to do all those things. And he had seen people that it all of a sudden their weight loss picked up after X amount of time. So
yeah. Well, that's kind of what happened to you. You kind of like
it slowed dramatically.
Down, like maybe even like stopped there for a few weeks, and then it started back up again. It just kind of did that. Linda Knox says, curious as to whether anyone has very bad dehydration. I drink lots of water. I did some research, and I think that my supplemental vitamin D may be the cause. Need to protect kidneys. That sounds like a conversation for your doctor.
Sounds like you might want to go to the doctor and have a blood panel done. Get them to run it. Talk to them about all of your supplements, because supplements can do all kinds of things. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying anything's good or bad, but go and find out what your body actually needs. Yeah. And then adjust appropriately.
I mean, Christopher's uncle found he was drinking too much water and it was causing him a problem. Now he had some other health issues, but you can drink too much water, right? So you want to, I think it's what I've heard doctors say on blogs is half your body weight in ounces of water per day is what you should be aiming for. So, and when people say they drink lots of water, does that mean 24 ounces? Does that mean 48 ounces, 100 ounces, 200? Like what's lots? Is it half your body weight in ounces of water?
Let's see how we answered that. Anthony says, did Christopher say Novo Nordisk's patent renewal fee was $450? That's cheaper than their own meds.
Diabolical.
Yeah. I have a whole video coming out that goes into great detail, but yeah, that's what it was.
Like they just forgot.
They forgot
about Canada.
They didn't know. It also goes back to 2017, 2018, which was really
what's going on then.
Well, I don't know that. I mean, one of the questions. So this all came from an article in Science Magazine that and I quote him and show you pictures of him on all that fun stuff, that he's not sure that they even understood the value of the patent at the time.
Oh.
And Novo Nordisk, I'm sure, has thousands of patents out there.
Somebody just dropped the ball on that one. Somebody definitely got fired over that. Angie says, woohoo, I found live. I hit 80 pounds lost this week after 16 months of Zepbound. Oh, nice. 3 more to Wonderland. Whoop, whoop. This medication is such a life-changing gift. I too will be on some form of GLP-1 for life. 80 pounds and 16 months. I first read that at 16 weeks. I was like, huh? 16 months. Okay. So yeah, that's awesome. You're doing great. Wonderland is when you are under 200 pounds and the scale starts with that 1. We call that Wonderland. That was something Christopher had to learn on.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Along the way. I've heard that in Weight Watchers forever. So, yep, Wonderland. That's great. Congratulations, Angie.
Let's see. Alice is beloved to unsubscribe for commenting. Honestly, okay, got white privileged psychopathy.
Alice.
No, we just took the comment down, Alice. It's we don't talk about great.
We just don't believe in it, and
it has nothing to do with the color of my skin or anything like that. No. That's just not what we do. If you want to do that, that's fine. but it is the quickest way to get a channel shut down on social media, and it's just not what we want to do.
There's lots of channels that talk about that. I see it on Reddit like all day long. Like there's plenty of places you can ask questions like that. We have no experience with it, and we don't want to get into that.
Let's hear.
Was it a part 2?
Yeah, I must have. There's a lot of comments going on.
Just working for me. Nah. Okay, Alice. That's. I mean, anybody that's been here a minute knows that that's not us. So we like to talk to the big pharma. We like to say, Eli Lilly, lower your prices. And I know they watched us because
we were in a court case.
Because they quoted us in a lawsuit against someone else. So we know they watch us. So every chance we get, we say, Eli Lilly, lower your price.
Or Novo Nordisk, but we've never met anyone from Eli Lilly. No. We don't know, or any of the companies. We don't know anybody. They don't pay us any money.
Nah.
Yeah. No. Linda Knox.
Wonder if I can get some confetti for encouragement because only 35 pounds down in 15 months. All right. Well, you know what? It's working, Linda. It's, you're doing it. It's going now on 12.5. I think she means that now. All right. So, you're working it. You're doing the things. It can be slow, but it works for you, right? The good news is there's a small percentage of people that this drug does not work for at all. Like they just lose no weight. So that is not you. So yay. So just keep going. You're doing great.
Let's see here. Here we go. Donna Johnson.
LD, I have a history of low blood sugar in my teens to age 50, which changed with menopause. All right. So as a precaution, I started at half the starting dose too, because this affects the pancreas and insulin.
Okay, there you go. That's an excellent reason.
Like you have a medically valid reason, your medical history, you're working with your doctor. That's what you guys came up with. That's what I wanted to hear from. That's perfectly valid. Yeah, great answer. Thanks, Donna. Donna, if we haven't done an interview, we haven't done an interview with Donna. We need to do an interview, Donna. Send me an email.
Difficult Nerd says when you lose a lot of weight, you should absolutely replace your shoes. Your old shoes were broken in for a different gait and center of gravity. That and my foot size went down like a size and a half, and I took a whole bag to Goodwill because I was stepping fully out of them. I just couldn't even tighten the shoestrings enough.
Yeah, and now we had to buy new shoes. So new shoes arrive at our house.
She's like, "What are these shoes for?"
I just arrived today or yesterday. I'm like,
"I need new shoes for the cruise."
New shoes? You don't need any new shoes. The man has a million pairs of shoes. Not a million, but a lot. He goes, they're too big now. He had a whole big bag to donate. So, that is absolutely true, your shoes.
Becky, thanks for being a member.
Hello, I have missed most of this, so I will watch from the beginning later. Yard work before it rains. Can you do some yard work at my house, Becky? Thanks. I haven't felt comfortable to go walk out in public, but I have been walking at my house. Okay, well, you know what? Walk at your house. A lot of people walk around the house. People have walking pads. Our friend Simply Taisha films her videos of her walking on her walking pad every day. So, you do where you feel comfortable. And, maybe at some point you'll be more comfortable to walk around in public.
And Anthony was asking about, and I can't pop it up right now, but do you guys know the YouTuber Simply Taisha? Yes, we do. She's a friend of ours. We did an interview with her. I think she said one of her neighbors works for Eli Lilly. LOL, maybe ask her. Simply Taisha is actually coming on the cruise with us. Her and her husband are both coming.
Yeah.
It's funny. We actually live maybe 12 or 13 miles from the
largest Eli Lilly
plant that they've been building in Concord, North Carolina. So we've driven past it. We don't know anybody though.
I think Condi Carmack, our molecular biologist friend, knows people that works at Eli Lilly because he used to be a scientist at Eli Lilly or one of those places.
I think he's worked for several of them.
Yeah. That's the closest we get. It's the closest degrees of separation we got. Sydney says, Lorraine, have you tried Pilates reformer classes? No, but they look fun, and I would, but they're also kind of expensive. I'm not talking about mat Pilates. No, like there's places around here. I have a friend that actually owns a studio about an hour from where I live. If you haven't tried it yet, consider it. I think you would like it, and its positive effect on your body. Yeah, I would love to try it. I would love to try it at some point. So I'll keep that in mind, Sydney. Thank you.
Steph V, who's a member on 6 days. So hungry or 8A. Not sure what comes after that. But yeah, I mean, the medications have a half-life of 5 days. So many people report that, kicking in after the 5th day might also mean you need to move up in dose at some point. But, talk to your doctor.
Hi, LDNCDs.
Oh, there's the rest of it.
Made a mistake of eating dark chocolate bar. Oh, I feel yucky. Oh, haven't had chocolate in weeks. Lessons? Any remedies? Well, maybe just eat a square of the chocolate bar next time and put the rest in the refrigerator for later. Remedies, I would get moving. I would go for a walk, do some exercises, get something to get your metabolism kind of, get it to process, right? Drink a lot of water. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Here, Kate gifted 10 Downsized memberships.
Oh, thanks, Kate.
So Kate sent out 10 Club Downsized memberships. So some of you will magically get them. We have no control over who they go to.
I can see over here. Rob something.
Nor does Kate, but it tells you who they're going to.
Rendezvous 1203 received a membership. Shan received a membership. Jennifer, all of us received a gift membership by Kate. So that's great.
We'll give you the dancing robot, Kate.
Thank you, Kate. We appreciate you. We appreciate our Club Downsized members. Thank you for supporting us in our quest, in our journey. We've been at this since March of last year. So we're gonna keep plugging away at this thing and bringing you all the news and updates. Mila says 2026 should be interesting for metabolic prescriptions.
Yeah, there's a lot of new stuff coming. I mean, I tell people when we say you're going to be on these medications long term, and they're like, I can't pay this forever. Things are changing so rapidly. It's why the news does so well, because there's always a story on the prices changing, on new medications, on new research, that what it looks like a year from now and 5 years from now and 10 years from now will be completely different. And it's exciting. It truly is.
Ideal Star, you're absolutely correct. After having 2 back surgeries, diet, obesity has been a major fight for me. I've been naturally thin most of my life. Oh, so she had back surgeries, and that's what triggered her weight gain. So that stinks. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I did an interview with the YouTuber Round Mound of Zepbound. His name is Charles. He's a former athlete, college athlete who had, I think, back surgery and knees. He had a bunch of stuff. He had a bunch of stuff happen, and it really impacted him like that as well. Fascinating guy. You can go check out his channel as well. Round Mound of Zepbound.
Steph B says, I love a McDonald's Diet Coke. Isn't that the best Diet Coke ever? Yes, it's crispy. I learned that word on an Instagram reel, or maybe my child said it. But yeah, I love a crispy Diet Coke. And McDonald's, I don't like, everyone it's like, why does it make it so good for McDonald's? Something about the air, or I don't know, something in the way it comes out of the machine is just better. Rhonda Ross says, I'm on Medicare, so I've been doing Lilly Direct. I missed the top of the chat. Is compounding going away? Not today. Not today, Satan. But it's the judge agreed with the FDA's decision that these drugs are no longer in shortage. So good news about that is they should be readily available at your local CVS. The bad news is once a drug is no longer in shortage, the larger compounding pharmacies cannot legally copy the drug. If the drug is in shortage, compounding pharmacies can legally make copies of the drug. So
the 503B ones.
The 503B ones. The big B's for big. B for big? Is that how I can
I don't know if there's
remember
any
it now?
relation, but yeah, you can remember it that way.
Okay. So compounding is still happening because they're making personalized doses. So that's when you see tirzepatide compounded with niacinamide or glycine or something else, and maybe you're seeing a different dosage amount. So instead of 15 milligrams, your pharmacy may be sending you 16.6 milligrams to make it more personalized for you. That's
And
how
those
they're
are
getting around it.
503A pharmacies, so it's a different part of the FDA regulation.
Julie Supeth. Has anyone else experienced receiving their medication from Empower? The bud dates are expiring sooner. Example, using vial with bud 11/29/25. My new dose has bud 11/20/25. They probably made it like literally within days of each other. So it's a 6 month out. Is that right? That should be the Empower ones I've gotten seem to be 6 months out, but it would be weird if you got an 11/29 one and then you got an 11/21. Like somebody just pulled the wrong one.
I think they're running a couple of different lines, and the lines may, like if you've ever been to a restaurant and they're calling numbers and there's like 37 and 12, and it just doesn't make any sense, but it's all what's in their system.
I mean, that's close enough. I wouldn't be upset about that. And 11/29, that's a good far out bud date. Like that's for a while we were getting the bud dates of 6 weeks out, and that was it's not really optimal. Pammy at Lorraine, wow, your arm's looking amazing. Oh, thanks. Guns, I want to build mine like that too. Well, you know what? I've been working on doing pull-ups at the gym because one of the people I interviewed for Downsized Dish inspired me with their pull-up ability. Today at the gym, I did a high-intensity interval class with weights, and we did tricep push-ups. We had 50 of those. 50. I don't think I did all 50. I like cheated my way through that. But I mean, like you got to do some you got to do hard stuff. But it does pay off.
Did you see this one? Did you read that?
I did.
Oh, perfect.
Donna Johnson, still no JoJo. JoJo was a very bad kitty, and we don't usually let her go outside after 3 p.m. because we like her to stay in at night. And so someone who will remain nameless opened the door around 5 p.m. and JoJo zipped on out. And she stayed on the porch, and I said, JoJo, come on in. And she said, I'm not coming in, and she would not let me pick her up. So JoJo's out there. She'll come in, hopefully.
So I mentioned Allie from Fit Flavor Fun, and I don't know if she's still here or not. It's been a little while since this coming. But hello, Allie. She's live. She does a live as well. I actually had a conversation with her yesterday, so she's fabulous.
Yep.
Mila, there's a lot of RXs coming out soon. Any new updates? The biggest thing I can tell you about that is watch the news. As soon as I find it out, we'll tell you in the news. If something is going to happen quicker, we'll do a breaking news and do it.
Yeah.
I think probably your next one is going to be orforglipron, and then you've got the cagrisemas and the retatrutides coming after that, and then there's a whole bunch of amylins and other things coming after that. But we report any of that stuff I pull from any country, anywhere in the world, and we're going to talk about it. So watch the news when it comes out on Monday.
Like and subscribe to our channel. Landlocked Viking. Oh, that's a cool name. That's crazy. Y'all are all right.
Hey, we're not censoring anything. This is our channel. We get to do what we want to do. And Facebook groups, YouTube channels have been shut down, and gray market products are illegal, and they can be dangerous. We just don't do it.
You don't have to repeat. Just move along. If you don't like our content, nobody's making you watch our content. And there's plenty of other places where you can discuss that. Becky Clark says, I hope the weather will be nice for the cruise. Concerning GLP-1, is it better to eat before shot day or a few hours later? You mean eat before the shot or after? I like to eat lunch. We usually take our shots on Friday. I like to eat lunch and make sure I've got some protein in there, and then we take the shot right after lunch. Someone, I think along the way, mentioned that they did this and they thought it helped alleviate nausea or something. So that's what I do. But really, we've taken our shot at night. We've taken our shot in the morning. Like, we generally do it after lunch, but I really haven't seen a difference. Have you noticed any difference when we do different times of the day?
I haven't. Hold on. Let's try this.
Laura, soft heart. So my doctor was going to start my compounding GLP-1 at a local compounding pharmacy on July 17th. No,
you might still be able to.
You might still be able to.
It depends on what kind of pharmacy they are.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, no, you'll probably be able to get it if it's a local compounding pharmacy. It's a small one. It'll be a personalized dose for you. They might add a B vitamin to your dose. So you could call the compounding pharmacy and ask them what their status is. Congratulations on Tracks. Congratulations on reaching 20,000 plus. Shout out to the Downsized. Well, thank you. Yeah, we passed 20,000 the other day. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Are you going somewhere? Oh, you just popping your head in? Would you like to say hello to the people? Other daughter? No? Okay.
Ideal Star says, great show. Simply Bank says, you are amazing. Love you guys. Anthony, here's Anthony. Here's your question about Taisha.
Yeah.
Let's see. Weight loss is a good excuse to buy shoes. Losing it grays. Darium says, please make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. There's 355 of you out there, 303 likes. We appreciate it very much. We have 11 new members this evening.
Oh, nice. Thanks
for Club Downsized. It's Darium says,
Yeah.
field trip to Concord, North Carolina. We need to tour the facility that we have been investing in. That'd be cool,
Right.
wouldn't it? I keep threatening to go over there and just set up maybe we'll do a weekly weigh-in, just set up in front of it in some folding chairs.
I'm not doing that.
I would. Why not? They don't care.
Nah, I don't.
I mean, ouch, just so you could kind of see it in the distance.
Well, you can see it from the main road.
Yeah.
I went to a big consignment sale out there a few months ago, and just randomly drove past. I'm like, there it is. It says Lily on the side. I'm like, I found it. It wasn't hiding. I just hadn't sought it out.
Barb says her insurance alone has bought half the plant. 3 years of Lily meds at full price.
Yeah, for sure.
And Darium says they need a Barb wing.
Barb could be the poster child for Eli Lilly for sure. So glad I reached out on live about a month ago. I was keto and worried about adding food groups. You guys gave the best advice. I'm no longer eliminating food groups, just making healthy choices.
Yeah, that's good.
That's great. Like, you know what? We tried so many of these things for years, right? Like keto and low carb and intermittent fasting. Don't come at me, intermittent fasting people. But you know, I've tried all of these things, right? And with this medication, you don't have to do any tricks. You don't have to eliminate stuff. So I'm glad you found that out at Simply Banks. So I'm glad you're making healthy choices.
Just take the shot. Somebody wants me to make a t-shirt. Maybe when we get back from cruise, I'll make a just take the shot t-shirt.
Yeah.
Be like a Hamilton shirt.
Not throwing away my shot.
Not throwing away my shot. Yep.
Yeah, that should be like the theme song for a GLP-1 brand, right? Not throwing away my shot. I guess you wouldn't throw it away. God, it costs too much money. You never throw it away. Yeah. I like the dancing robot. That's new.
Yeah.
Simply Banks 326.25 started set bound at 189 as of today 151. I just moved to 5 milligrams 2 weeks ago. I'm so happy. I'm over the keto. Yeah. I could not do keto. I was just like, I just want to eat bread. Anthony, thanks for checking my questions. Also, well, your daughters really prefer not to acknowledge your YouTube gig. Oh, no. Yeah, no.
They're 18 and 21, and they're like,
yeah, no,
Mom, Dad.
Do you want to be on the YouTube channel? They're like, absolutely not. Okay. And then they like to tell Christopher that you're not really a social media influencer dad.
Mm-hmm.
You're not really, you don't have like the 10 million viewers on TikTok. We're not on TikTok at all because
we have a TikTok channel. It has one video.
Well,
I think there's about 30 followers.
Think my daughter made a CapCut video of us.
No, it's it's a clip from your Dr. Sewa interview. That's what it is.
There might be 2 then. Show the folks our before and after pictures. I don't think we've showed them lately. Before, after, both on cruises, about a year apart, right? On this, about a year apart.
I think so. Yeah.
So we'd love to cruise, as y'all know. So stay tuned, and you can hear tales of our next Downsized 2026 cruise that'll be coming out next week. But yeah.
Lynn Becker says my husband and I are looking forward to meeting you all the next week on the cruise.
Lynn,
Absolutely.
Lynn, you guys are doing the vow renewals, right? Kelly told me that they got that time and day finalized. So yeah, we'll be glad to cheer you guys on through that. So yep, looking forward to it. Rhonda Ross says, I like the ship on the top shelf.
The MSC ship.
My daughter won it on a cruise, and so we're like, oh, we'll put it in our studio. What about something with a little more white or lighter gray on the middle shelf? Yeah, that's a good idea. We're adjusting. We're making adjustments. It's a microphone. It is a microphone. You can't even see what it is.
Well, I had this there.
He had the Buc-ee's.
I had the Buc-ee there. What do you think? Should I put Buc-ee there?
It's just distract. Like, what's that got to do with?
I don't know. I thought he was
the Downsized. I just thought it was weird that we had a Buc-ee's stuffed animal on the shelf along with your, art piece and our ship from MSC.
Oh yeah, that's an MSC ship.
Yeah.
My daughter won it in a trivia contest. Is that what it was? Or
I think it was like a this or that. Like they say, what's the right answer, A or B? And you move to the side of the room for that. And then eventually there's a winner. Fun stuff like that. Deborah Krisher says, so I just ate half a donut while watching. Girl, I love donuts. Well, you only ate half, so, celebrate that. You can still have a donut. You want a donut? Eat a donut. The whole thing what I found is, so when I used to eat I love donuts. I really do. When I used to eat a donut, it would light up my brain. I'd get a sugar rush. I'd feel, woo-hoo-hoo, I want to eat another donut. And then I want to eat another donut. And I want to eat all the donuts. And now I eat maybe half a donut and I say, oh, that was good. And now I feel kind of maybe not so good. And maybe now I've had enough of that. Or maybe half of it, satisfies, where before nothing ever filled that hunger in my brain, right? So, you know what? I love donuts. I'm not going to go without donuts. I love them. Brochet says, I'm guessing your daughters don't want to be chased by Christopher and Lorraine groupies on the street because you're so famous. Yeah, that's it. So one of our daughters is coming with us on the Downsized cruise. So y'all will meet one of them. So, they're I guess they're coming around to the idea.
They're getting used to it. Yeah, they
figured out that we're not stopping, and they know how he is. So I think they're just accepting it now. The stuffed animal is cute.
It's Buc-ee. So do you know the convenience store chain? It's like the largest convenience stores in the world, Buc-ee.
It's not
Buc-ee's from Texas.
Yeah, they have gas, and then you go inside, and it's like the size of a small Walmart in there with everything from barbecue sandwiches to water bottles and all kinds of merch to all kinds of packaged food. And it's like if you love junk food, you'll love Buc-ee's, right? It's got a lot of junk in there. Barb says, your kids don't want to be on YouTube, and my kids are YouTube hogs. Love they were on your show.
So 2 of Barb's children were on it. We did interviews with them. Both fascinating, intelligent, well-spoken, just fabulous people.
Yeah.
Our kids love YouTube. They love YouTube.
They were downstairs watching Miss Remy Ashton. Apparently she's getting married. And they're like, this is like the royal wedding for us. I'm like, what? And I'm like, okay, she posted a video 4 minutes ago and it's got 12,000 views. I'm like, who's watching these things? Well, teenagers, I guess. Teenage girls.
Let's see here. It's Darian says, with the 2026 Downsized at Sea Cruise 2.0, will people have more time to pay for the trip?
Yeah.
Well, so the plan is to announce the 2026 cruise next week on this cruise.
Right.
So you'll have a full year because it will be it'll be mid-June as
and we're going to try to make the the prices a lower price point than they were for this one. I just I thought that would be good. And we want, everybody who wants to come, we want them to be able to join us. So have enough time to plan and stuff like that. Vicky says, hello, Durhams. I'm down to 188 pounds. Only 3 more to go to get to 100 pounds down. Ding damn, Vicky. That is amazing. Congratulations. Wow. That's great. Dr. Dan has Scooby-Doo. Oh, does he really? You all can have Bucky. I love Dr. Dan. I was watching his video the other day. Bucky, he's cute. Yeah. Dr. Dan was talking about how sometimes when you've been on these GLP-1s for a long time, how I was talking about donuts. So now when I eat a donut, my brain doesn't light up as much. So maybe I just don't want to eat it because I don't get the same bang for my buck out of it. You know what I mean? So, and then if I eat something that never really gave me a dopamine hit, like a piece of chicken, maybe I just am like, I don't feel like eating, I'm not going to eat it. So we really have to be aware that we still need the nutrition for our bodies, even if we don't feel like making good choices sometimes. Kate says, my niece Mia has something's big, like 10 million subscribers on Instagram.
Wow, that's huge.
Wow, can she come on our show? And
she's a little
her and
girl.
her little sister's being silly. 10 million? That's huge.
Crazy. Yeah.
I forget all the time how famous she is. That's crazy. And would they like to be on the? Just kidding.
I don't think they want to be on the old.
Can I be on their show?
Yeah.
Maybe I can
on
go on their
Instagram channel.
Yeah. No. So. Yeah.
All right. There's 325 or 24 of you out there. 326 likes. We're doing awesome. 11 new members. It's been 2 hours and 15 minutes and 54 seconds.
I think I'm fading.
I have a dashboard right there in case you can't tell. Big screen. So it's.
Well, thanks for y'all for hanging out with us tonight. What?
Kate says they're tiny little women.
They're tiny little women.
They always think they are, don't they?
Yeah. I want to be big grown-up ladies.
Always do. All right. Are we done for this evening?
I think so.
So next week we will be broadcasting live from the Celebrity Reflection and the Downsized at Sea cruise presented by Mochi. It will be on Wednesday again. The timing will be slightly different. Watch for the announcement to come out from YouTube. It'll ding you. If you've subscribed and hit the bell, it'll alert you. But it'll be a little bit early because we've got to work in dinner and things on the ship.
We won't have a members only live this coming Tuesday because we'll be on the cruise. So we'll just do the live for all people on Wednesday. And then when we come back the week after that, we'll get back on our regularly scheduled programming.
Yep.
So thanks for hanging with us.
So let's see. Woodkirky has one last comment. Everyone, don't forget to take pictures of your progress, no matter how small. You will look back and be amazed.
So I just happened down a TikTok rabbit hole the other day, and Woodkirky popped up in my For You page. And this man has lost a significant amount of weight because I think you posted some before and after pictures. So congratulations, Woodkirky. I think you're doing awesome. So yeah, progress pictures are very important because sometimes you don't see it when you look in the mirror, but a side-by-side photo can really make your brain believe it.
Anthony says, is it going to look like a talk show, maybe a split screen with the live audience? So we will be in a small theater called Celebrity Central. Yeah. So we'll be on stage doing this, and I have a whole kit of camera stuff that we're going to take with us. I'm going to try and do it like that. It's going to be dependent on the tech. We're kind of working with some of the technology that's there and how much internet can push. So we broadcast live from there last time, but it'll be a little fuzzy. It always is from the middle of the ocean. So we'll do the best we can. But yeah, the goal is to have a multi-camera thing.
We want it to look like a talk show, though.
As much as we can. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But we want to have the audience participate too. So one of our viewers is running the camera for us. So we're just kind of winging it, but it'll be talk show like. So someday when we have our GLP-1 talk show starring The Downsized with Lorraine and Christopher Durham, we could get.
Oh, Doris says, hope you will share a line dancing video with you. So Lorraine will have to film it because I have to line dance.
Indeed,
So we can get one of our daughter to film it.
Barb could film it. Olivia could. Yeah, for sure. Well, we will make that happen. Don't you worry, Doris. We will bring you that video. Donna Johnson, I will see some of you Monday on. Travel safe. It's going to be great fun, even if it rains some days. Yeah,
I don't think it's going to rain. I think we'll be fine.
You can tell because sometimes you get the little sprinkle in the shower and then it just keeps moving on, and that's fine. So, what you don't want is not a cloud in the sky and to be blazing hot, right? Can't wait. Better than Oprah herself. Oh my gosh, I love Oprah. Oprah, call me.
Yeah, Oprah. Let's do an interview.
Eli and Lily might be watching, but Oprah is definitely not watching. But I would love to be on Oprah or meet Oprah. I think that would just be like amazing.
All right, so that's it
guys.
for us this evening. If you haven't already been to our website, downsized.org, make sure you go over there, sign up for our email list. That way, if we get shut down somewhere, Facebook's been doing it, TikTok's been doing it, lots of things have been doing it. We still have your email address, and we could talk to you and reach out. We can always host videos on our website. I'd rather stay here on YouTube, but we could. Absolutely. And we would love to have Oprah. If you'd like to come on the show, we would absolutely love to. I will fly to you wherever you are. It doesn't matter. Well, let me know.
Who was it?
We'll come have dinner with you and Gail. It would be fabulous.
Yeah. Oh, Gail. We watch Gail every morning on CBS. Yeah.
So we appreciate it, though. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for joining us. And we'll see you, I don't know, tomorrow, next week. We're on every day. So make sure you like and subscribe.
Make sure you hang around and watch this video.
Oh, now we're going to roll that beautiful